Hello, good evening. My name is Richard, and it looks a bit weird, so let me just sort it out. I'm not quite sure what's happening with this background tonight. It's not very good, is it? Let's see if we can sort it out and make it look a bit better. Ah, there we go. That's better, isn't it? So this is Matchday Live. My name is Richard. This is Sheffield United versus Arsenal in the Premier League. Should be the easiest win we've had all season, and we've had some good wins recently. This should beat the lot. It's all coming up outside of this. So, yeah, Sheffield United versus Arsenal. Sheffield United are probably one of the worst teams ever to play in the Premier League. They're not even a mid-table championship team, let's be honest. Dreadful. We're on a great run. This is a game that we are going to win. It's just a matter of how many goals are we going to win by. That's all we need to worry about tonight, don't we? We can relax, enjoy the game, and not worry about too much about it. Now, I don't know whether or not you've been watching social media today, but there's a lot of people on social media have been, a lot of the Arteta fans, I suppose. Oh, it could be a tough game, you know, Sheffield United. Oh, that could be tough. They're fighting relegation. No, Sheffield United are terrible. And if we don't score, if we don't win this game by at least 4 clear goals, then honestly, it's not been a good night. Let's be fair. Anyway, we'll get into the team news very shortly. Terry says, good evening, Richard. Need to send out a statement win tonight. I don't want none of this 2-1, 3-1. I'm wanting 5 or 6-0 win. I want to win the league on points and goal score. Well, just points will do, but yeah, it doesn't. The rest of it is just about how poor Sheffield United are. Look at the way they've lost at home recently. Villa scored 5, Brighton scored 5. Gunnar Dan says 5-0 tonight, and we'll be the only team to win with 5 goals in more than 3 consecutive games ever. 3 consecutive away games, yeah. And that's right, isn't it? It's just away games. I think so. Anyway, let's see what happens. So the team news then. What are we thinking for the Arsenal team? Well, this is it. So it's David Raya in goal, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Jacob Kiwior in the back 4. Declan Rice, Jorginho, Ødegaard in midfield, and the front 3, Saka, Martinelli and Kai Havertz. So exactly the same team that beat Newcastle. So, you know, this isn't a game, obviously, to play players like Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Leandro Trossard. No. Keep the same team because it is going to be a difficult game, of course, as we know. For Sheffield United, then their team is up there. I don't know hardly any of their players other than Austin Trusty, of course, who we sort of know, don't we? Oliver Knorr was their captain. Other than that, they're a bunch of no marks, really, aren't they? Is anybody's guess. But anyway, one was a team because let's face it, it doesn't matter, does it? We are going to win this game and we're going to win it quite comfortably. Gunnar Dan says Partey on the bench. He's on the bench. Yeah, he is on the bench. Whether or not he'll be needed in this game, you'd have to say probably not. But will he come on? Maybe he will. Is it worth risking him? I would say let's wait until we get some more difficult games where we're going to need Thomas Partey later on in the season rather than risking him in a game like this where we're going to win quite comfortably without him. Let him have a bit more of a rest and we'll save him for some of the more difficult games that we've got coming up over the next few weeks. That's what I would personally do. It's good to see him back on the bench, but I certainly wouldn't be starting him or certainly wouldn't be bringing him on in this game unless, as people have been saying, it's a tight game. It's 0-0 with like 10 minutes to go. But even then, really, Thomas Partey is not that sort of player, is he, that you'd bring on in those sort of circumstances, really. Maybe if we're 2-1 up and he wants to shore things up in midfield and keep the ball. But that won't be the case, will it? I'm sure we'll be 6-0 up without too many problems. Now, Arsenal, of course, are wearing the kit, the luminous yellow kit, which has been lucky for us, hasn't it, in recent games? We've won a big goal-scoring games away from home in this kit. And as Dan said, if we score 5, if we win by 5 goals tonight, score 5 goals, it will be the first time ever in history a team has scored 5 or more in 3 consecutive away games in the league, top flight. So that would be quite an achievement, wouldn't it? And you know, the fixtures have fallen nicely for us after West Ham, which was an unexpected sort of 6-0, wasn't it? I think we didn't expect to beat West Ham by that many. Having Burnley and Sheffield United, 2 of the worst teams consecutively after that away, it's worked out pretty well for us, hasn't it? We got 5 against Burnley, could have had a few more. And Sheffield United tonight, people are saying, oh, it's a night game, the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. None of that matters. Sheffield United are dreadful. They are, if you remember the Derby County team in the Premier League from 15 years ago, whenever it was, that won about 1 game all season. This Sheffield United team are not really any better than them. And we scored 11 against them in the 2 games that we played that Derby team. We're a much better team. This is a much better team than that Arsenal team was. So there's no reason why we beat these 5-0 at the Emirates, of course. So we should be looking at a similar score tonight. So their goalkeepers, Ivo Grebic, never even heard of him, Jadon Bogle, Anel Hodditch, Jack Robinson and Austin Trussell, as we said, Oliver Norwood, Vinicius Souza and Tom Davis, and then James McAtee. Of course, on loan from Man City, isn't it? So we'll probably be all right. Ollie McBurney and Gustavo Hammer, who scored a few goals, hasn't he? The Dutch sort of wide player for Sheffield United. But they're a very, very poor team, very average, aren't they? Of course, on the bench, they've got that Ben Brereton. If you remember when we played Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, 2017, 2018 season, when we lost 4-2, I think he scored a couple of goals that day, didn't he? For Nottingham Forest. He's on the bench for Sheffield United. And of course, the Arsenal team unchanged from their victory over Newcastle. In a way, you could say, why change a winning team? Yes, I get that. But also at the same time, if you're going to make changes and give players a chance to play and minutes on the pitch, which, the players on the bench need minutes on the pitch, don't they? This is the type of game to make those changes, isn't it? Give Emil Smith-Rowe a start in a game like this. Eddie Nketiah even, heaven forbid, but he just got a hat-trick against him last time, didn't he? So why not do that? I don't know. But anyway, he's gone with what he considers his strongest team, and which is why anything less than a really, really big victory wouldn't really be acceptable tonight, even though we've had some struggles on this ground in recent years, haven't we? We've not recent years so much, but when we played them over the last sort of 10, 15 years, we tend to just struggle in this stadium, haven't we? But anyway, I'm sure we're not going to struggle tonight, are we? Terry says, I wish we did start with 10 men. Well, he's been doing all right lately. Gunnar Dan says, Man City v Liverpool next weekend. Well, this weekend coming up. Yeah, exactly. It is. So 1 or 2 of them are going to drop points, aren't they? We just need to keep winning. I never even bother watching the Man City game yesterday. I didn't watch the Liverpool game on Saturday because I don't care how they get on. We just got to win our games. And if they drop points or whatever it is on the way, yeah, brilliant. But I'm not bothered about that. All I care about is us winning our games, and that's it. So I'm not really bothered about them. Man City, Liverpool, who cares? Someone's going to drop points. I'm not really bothered. We just need to win. We need to win tonight, beat Brentford, and that's it. And that's all that matters. Phil says, "Come on, Arsenal!" Indeed. Terry says, "If we don't cock this one up, we could be top of the shop." Well, we'll have to beat Brentford as well, wouldn't we, on Saturday evening at home, which we should do. But look what happened last season. Absolutely, yeah, we could well be top before Liverpool and Man City play each other, and that's what we can do: win our games, put the pressure on other teams, and that's it. I'm not gonna worry and think about, oh my God, are they going to lose this game, win that game? Well, blah blah blah, Liverpool, Man City. No, I don't care. Let's just win our game. It doesn't matter then, does it? Anyway, we're going to be kicking off by the look of it, and we'll be attacking the goal to our right in this first half, which I can't remember what the name of that stand is now, but we were there in the Euros, the Women's Euros 2 years ago. We was there a couple of times in that stand behind the goal, Arsenal attacking in this first half. Which is not the away end. The away end's the only way defending. Anyway, Declan Rice takes kickoff. We are off and underway. The ball goes back to David Rose, all in blue. Kicks it long up that far side. It's gone straight out for a throw to Sheffield United. They've got some balls on the side for to take throw-ins quickly, which might actually come to haunt them, because if we do the same, we like to catch them out, aren't we? You do feel if Arsenal scored it, this is one of them sort of games, isn't it, where if Arsenal score in the first 10 minutes, as we did against Burnley, then the game's over as a contest, isn't it? So from a Sheffield United perspective, what they've got to do is they've got to start well, and they've got to keep themselves in the game. They've got to keep it 0-0 for as long as they can, and then they'll feel that they've maybe got a chance. But anyway, Arsenal coming forward straight away now on this near side. Bukayo Saka. I was actually at this ground last time we played Sheffield United in the Premier League. It was under Unai Emery. We lost that game 1-0. And that was dreadful, wasn't it? And that was a terrible Sheffield United team as well. We managed to lose that game, but we're a different team now. We're in different form completely. And if we don't win this game, it'll be a shock. Saka now has got 3 on his near side, plays it across. Shot comes in from Kai Havertz. It's hit the post. Rebound off the line. Oh, it's almost got the early goal. And if one of them had gone in, you do feel as though it's going to be a very long night for Sheffield United. But somehow it didn't go in. It looked like it hit the post. I don't know if it was Kai Havertz shot to hit the post. Anyway, the ball comes back in the box again, headed away. And Arsenal almost got the early goal there. Wow. That was incredible. Anyway, we've still got the ball inside the penalty area, Sheffield United penalty, and now it's hooked away. And now there's a stop in the play because Arsenal have got a player injured, and it's Martin Odegaard. Looks like it's a head injury. I think he had a clash there with Tom Davies. It may well have been Bukayo Saka. There's a lovely 1-2 here with Jorginho. Brilliant play. Saka pulled it back. Kai Havertz hit the defender, and then it was Saka's shot hit the bar, actually. And then the rebound was cleared off the line from Martinelli. And Arsenal had 2 opportunities there to take an early lead. And is it going to be one of them nights tonight for Arsenal after that there, the hitting the bar and then the clear one off the line? Is it going to be one of those nights? I'm sure it won't be. Martinelli was a spectacular effort, actually, but it was cleared off the line in front of the goalkeeper by Jack Robinson, it was. Anyway, Arsenal again have won the ball, headed forward by Gabriel, and now Jacob Kiwior heads it forward again. And Sheffield United, they've packed their midfield tonight. You can understand why. Terry says, I love Rice, but that's a bar steward of a haircut. Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it? Fair play to him, though, you know. Anyway, Sheffield United coming forward now for the first time over on that far side, across into the box. William Saliba cuts it out. There was no one really in the penalty area except for Ollie McBurney, so we didn't really need to worry because he's terrible, isn't he? So there was no real danger, but William Saliba cut it out anyway. And Arsenal now back in possession. We've played 3 minutes. And surprisingly, it's still Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 0. We expected about 3 goals by now, didn't we? But we haven't. We could have scored 1 in that first couple of minutes there. When somehow the ball never ended up in the net, did it? Terry said Nelly did well to keep that shot down. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was a difficult one to hit, wasn't it, on the volley? And it was on target. Just there was a defender standing in front of the goalkeeper, and the ball stayed there. Anyway, Martinelli's got the ball again over on that far touchline. Arsenal's left, plays it back to Kiwior. Now it's with Gabriel, and Arsenal playing a familiar pattern here, and looking just to pull that Sheffield midfield around because everybody for Sheffield United is behind the ball, the red and white striped shirts. Saka now on his near side. It was his early shot that hit the crossbar. Ben White's gone around the outside. Martin Odegaard in the penalty area. He's come to Ben White. Can he pull it back? Oh, right across the goal. And Kai Havertz couldn't get a touch. Any touch there, and that would have been 1-0. And the ball's out with Martinelli over on that far side. Jorginho plays it back to Gabriel, and that's out to that far side again. Jacob Kiwior plays it back to Gabriel. And that was a lovely cross from Ben White, low across the 6-yard box. And now also coming forward again. Declan Rice plays it across, and it is 1-0. Martin Odegaard, 4 minutes played. The game's over. We have won. Let's go have a cup of tea, shall we? And get the cigars out. It's all over. Arsenal have scored. Easy as that. Easy as that. It's a good move, actually. Nice play over on that far side. Martinelli played it through. Was it Declan Rice? I think pulled it back. And Martin Odegaard, unmarked, 6 yards out, tapped it in. That's simple. Simple goal. See, when football's simple, when football's played simply like that, it's an easy game, isn't it? Obviously, it helps that Sheffield United haven't got anywhere near us, and Martin Odegaard's left completely free. But other than that, Terry says 29, get him off. Well, I don't know about that. Terry says yes. And there we go, game over. Indeed, it is game over. And Rajandra's with us. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. And this is going to be a very, very long night for Sheffield United, isn't it? And all those people that said, oh, it's going to be a tough game. It might only be 2-1. No, it won't be. It's going to be 8-0, this, isn't it? I said 7-0 when we did our show last week, didn't I? And I was sort of half joking, but I'm actually not, because Sheffield United are literally terrible. And, we're playing well. Look at the quality we've got and the way we've already opened them up, 3 times already in the opening 5 minutes. We could be 3-0. We could be in again here. Martinelli over on that. Kai Havertz over on that far side. Manages to keep the ball in. Looks as though there might have just been an opportunity there for a second, but Kai Havertz got the ball again. That's back with Jorginho, and Arsenal moving the ball quickly in the final third in the early stages here, absolutely knocking it around with confidence, and why not? And I think the ball is going to be all up one end of the pitch, isn't it? It's defence against attack, and I think that's going to be the theme all night. And I think if Arsenal keep our concentration and keep our focus, then really we could beat the Premier League record away win, which I believe is 9-1. Obviously, Newcastle did win 8-0 here, didn't they? Which I suppose equals the goal difference. But didn't Man United beat someone 9-1 away, or was that not right? Anyway, if we keep our focus here tonight, we could easily beat that. Regenda says, looks like 6 or 7 goals for Arsenal. Exactly, yeah, I would say. Yeah, that's what we're looking at, really, isn't it? I'd be disappointed if we don't now, because literally the way that we've just walked through them, you know, they're not putting a challenge in. They're all over the place, which is what we expected them to be, because they're an average team. They'll be an average championship team, let alone a Premier League team. It's literally men against boys, and it's just, I say, how focused Arsenal want to be. And obviously, the goals we've been scoring lately, I'm sure they're going to keep going away. Saka over on this near side tries to get across, and it's blocked actually, and it's going to be a corner. It was Austin Trusty who blocked that to give a corner to Arsenal. The first corner of the game, actually, 7 minutes played. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1. And I think it's going to be the only problem Arsenal have got here is that it's going to be very, very easy just to relax, isn't it? Because of how easy it is, and that could be where things go wrong, isn't it? We've got Henry in the chat. He says, "Good night, my Arsenal family." Indeed, how are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. And Arsenal said we're going to be trying a different corner. We've got 3 players only right over on the far post. Martinelli is going to take this corner, and we've been doing some funky work with set pieces, haven't we? In fact, it goes short this time to Saka, and all those players lined up at the far post, and the ball didn't even come in. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's got it again. It's his goal that gave Arsenal the early lead. He's going to try another shot as he from the edge of the box. He does, but it curls away, and it's going to be a goal kick to Sheffield United. So that was a bit of a strange corner, wasn't it? It looked as though they were going to try something new, everybody on the far post, and then it went short. Saka gave it back to Martin Odegaard, and then he managed to get a shot in from the edge of the box, but it was always going wide. And it remains 1-0. And you almost start to feel sorry for the Sheffield United players, aren't you? Because this could be a very, 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 very long game for them. It's really hard, isn't it, when you don't have the ball and you're chasing after it all night, and that's going to be what Sheffield United will be doing. They've already had to do that for nearly 9 minutes here, and Arsenal just won a free kick, and it was Jadon Bogle there with the foul on Martinelli, I think it was. Anyway, Declan Rice is going to take this free kick, and he plays it up this near side. Looking for Saka it was, but it's headed away over on this near side by Austin Trusty again. Terry says Gary must fancy up in his goal tally tonight from corners. Yeah, I would imagine he would. Yeah, he's been in the goals recently, hasn't he? Getting on the end of some corners. Certainly, you do feel if we can put some corners in the box, we should score a few. We should have a lot of success from that, shouldn't we? Really, but let's see. It is 1-0. It was a nicely worked goal. Kai Havertz now over on that far side, trying to get in behind that Sheffield defence, but they just managed to clear it away. And just anywhere will do for Sheffield United at the moment. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal, which Ben White is going to take. He just did a great cross in a little bit just before the goal, looking for Kai Havertz, but he couldn't quite get on the end of it. The £65 million German, who must be fancying his chances as well. Samuel says there 17 crosses I think Blades have conceded this season. Yeah, probably it would be something like that. Yeah, so we know what we need to do. Well, we just need to play our game, don't we? And if we do that, we will win this game very, very comfortably. Martin Odegaard now in the centre of the pitch, pings the ball for that far. Look at the space Martinelli's got. Look at that space inside the box. Plays it square to Saka. Is it going to be 2-0? Ah, Saka's shot was blocked. But Sheffield United cannot leave players unmarked like that inside the penalty area. Martinelli had the freedom of the penalty area there. He did try and play it across to set Saka up, and Saka's shot was blocked. All the defenders were very central. They're almost as though they're just trying to protect the middle of the goal rather than looking at players that are unmarked in wider areas. And you do feel as though if they keep doing that, they are going to be punished quite heavily here. Anyway, it is still 1-0. Now, Ben White's got a little bit of space on this near side. Plays the ball square into midfield. Jorginho touches it off to Kai Havertz on the edge of the box. And Kai Havertz done well, actually, under pressure to get the ball out to Jacob Kiwior, but his pass can't find Gabriel Martinelli over on that far side. It's going to be a throw to Sheffield United. But this was, yeah, so much space there for Martinelli. And he played the ball into Saka. Nice first touch. It was actually good defending in the end there from Sheffield United. It was Jack Robertson who came across and got the block in, or that would have been 2-0. And Saka would have added to his goal tally for the season. He's already hit the crossbar in this game as well. So we could easily be 2 or 3 up already. And I'm sure the goals will start to flow. We've only played 11 and a half minutes, and already we could have scored 3 or 4. That's how dominant we've been. And I don't think anybody's surprised. If any Man City or Liverpool fans are tuned in to watch this game to think, oh, are Arsenal going to drop points? Come on, be serious. There was absolutely no chance that happening, was there? It's just, I say, it's just a matter of how many goals we're going to score. Saka now on his near side, he'll be desperate to get a couple, won't he? Martin Odegaard, who has scored already tonight. Kai Havertz touches it off to Jacob Kiwior, trying to shot from the end of the box as well. That was good to see, wasn't it? He got blocked. He got a goal, didn't he, recently as well? That's 2 he's got for Arsenal now, wasn't it? In the game against Newcastle, of course, he got that the last goal, didn't he? Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward again. It's just relentless Arsenal pressure here. We've played 12 minutes. Arsenal are 1-0 up, and quite honestly, could be quite a few more up. Anyway, Declan Rice plays his ball out this near side to Bukayo Saka. Goes around the outside far too easily. Can he pull it back? He does pull it back. It's an own goal. It's 2-0. And is that Saka's goal or is it an own goal? It might well be an own goal from Robinson. It is 2-0. And suddenly you're thinking that if this was a boxing match, it would be called off, wouldn't it, already? It's just far, far too easy. I think that one might well be an own goal. By actually Bogle, I think it might be. Saka got clear on this near side far too easily there. Skipped past Austin Trusty, I think it was, as though he wasn't even there. Got to the byline, pulled it back, and it is an own goal. It's an own goal off the player whose name I can't pronounce. But anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? It's a goal. It's an own goal, and Arsenal are 2-0 up. And had he not scored there, there was 2 Arsenal players waiting to tap it in. Terry says, get in there. Gunnar Dan says, throw the towel in. Yeah, they might as well, let's be honest. They might as well throw the towel in. This is the sort of game, isn't it, where if this was Manchester City or Liverpool playing, you'd switch off now, wouldn't you? Because you think it's just pointless now. It's just pointless watching it. I certainly would. If I'd even bothered starting to watch it, I'd certainly have switched off by now and gone and done something else because it's all over. I mean, fair play to the Sheffield United fans. They seem to be staying so far. Of course, some of the other fans, David Reyes has made a mistake there. You see, we get a little bit sloppy. That's going to be the only thing that's going to prevent us scoring loads of goals in this game. We're coming forward again now. There's spaces everywhere. Martinelli, Jacob Kiwior's outside him. Kai Havertz, Martinelli shot. It's 3-0. And this is going to be an absolute riot. It is going to be a riot. Record-breaking night here, I'm sure. Martinelli's just... And have we got enough numbers to keep up with this score? 14 minutes played, and it is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 3. Martinelli is with the latest goal, and a record score is on the cards here. There's no doubt about that, is there? I told you Sheffield United were terrible, and they're just proving it time and time again here. I mean, it was a Sheffield United attack, and then we just won the ball. Look at the spaces there is. There's just spaces everywhere. It's just ridiculous, honestly. It's like Sunday League stuff. And Martinelli got it back from Kiwior, fired it in. It's a good finish, actually. It's a good finish, but Jesus Christ, how easy is this? It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it's a nice little 1-2. Martinelli's first time. In fact, he got deflected. That might be another own goal, but I'll probably give it to Martinelli. I think the shot was on target. And it's gone in. The goalkeeper's just moved the wrong way. The deflection beat him. And after 14 minutes, it's 3-0. Wow. Terry says, good to see Nelly on the score sheet again. Gunnar Dad says, Terry said he'll use his fingers if you're out of numbers. Yeah, well, we might well be out of numbers, which is good, isn't it? So it is 3-0 already. Wow, 15 minutes played. And so I'm sure the record away wins 8-0, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Anyway, there we go. We've got Eric in the chat. He's nice, isn't he? Look. Well, thanks for coming and joining us, mate. You know, we're winning 3-0. What's the matter with you? Well, why would we be pissed off? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're doing. Why would we be pissed off? We're winning 3-0. Over the moon, mate. I said it would be 8-0, 7-8-0. So I'm enjoying it. Anyway, they're making a sub now. Oliver Norwood is going off with Sheffield United, and Ben Osborne's coming on. I don't know if that was an injury or whether he's just had enough. The poor lad. He doesn't look very happy, does he? Or is that a tactical change? I'm not sure. He's going straight down the tunnel, so maybe it's just a tactical change. So 16 minutes in, and some Sheffield United fans are now leaving, or are they just going to get a beer and drown their sorrows? They probably are. And you can't really blame them, can you? Let's be honest. I mean, it must be difficult to keep watching your team get hammered every single week. It must be very, very difficult. Not that we've ever experienced that, not that we ever will. So I can only imagine what that must be like. But anyway, you've got to give credit to the ones that are going to stay, and I'm sure lots of them will. Sheffield United should be delighted to even be in the Premier League. So, they can't really grumble too much, can they? Anyway, Arsenal back in possession again, Jorginho. We've only played 17 minutes. It's Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 3. And what more could you... Oh, lovely ball over the top. Kai Havertz is in. Oh, and his touch let him down a little bit there. Oh, that would probably have been 4-0. He looked as though he was onside as well, actually. It was a good ball over the top. I think it was from Gabriel, actually, it might have been. And his first touch there, if he'd managed to get it under control, he would have just been able to lob it over the keeper, and that would have been 4-0. But it just bounced away from him now. And I'm not sure whether or not he would have counted, whether it was offside. It looked as though he may have been. But I don't think the flag went up. But I'm sure VAR would have wanted to get involved had they needed to if he'd scored. Anyway, Sheffield United have got the ball now over on the far side. And I think it's just about pride for them now, isn't it? It's just about pride. Literally, that's it. And can they keep their heads up a little bit and try to at least show some fight? But this is just about our attitude now, isn't it? How we want to approach the rest of the game. That's what it's about, isn't it? And if we do, it'll be great, won't it? But let's see. It is difficult sometimes, isn't it, to keep that focus, that intensity when a game is this easy. It's very difficult to do it, isn't it? It's like when you're playing, when you play a lower league team in the cup, it's very difficult, isn't it? When you get a couple of goals up, it's difficult, isn't it, to keep that focus. But we've shown in recent games, haven't we, especially away from home, that we've been able to do that, haven't we? So there's no reason to suggest we won't do it tonight. And of course, as Dan mentioned before, 2 more goals from Arsenal tonight would set a new record, wouldn't it? Winning by 5 in 3 consecutive away games, which would be it's never been done before ever in top flight of English football. So that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Ty says there, clean sheet and a goal from a set piece will do for me. Well, yeah, I mean, a set piece goal. To be honest with you, I want to see us score as many as we can. I want to see us break the record for a number of goals scored in a Premier League game, certainly away from home. Oh, Sheffield United have had a shot, and the Arsenal fans behind that goal give it a cheer. It is James and McAtee, of course, on loan from Manchester City. So he'd have been hoping, wouldn't he, to have done his parent club a bit of a favours tonight. But it's not going to happen, is it? But he had a little go there, nice little run, cut inside. But that shot was nearer to the corner flag than the goal. And that kind of sums up Sheffield United's first 19 minutes here, doesn't it? But at least they've had a shot at goal. So I'm sure that'll keep their fans a little bit happier, won't it, for the time being? And this is a ground, I say, where we've struggled before, haven't we? We don't have a great record in the city of Sheffield, actually, overall. But we did win, of course, 3-0 in their last time they were in the Premier League, and we're winning 3-0 already today. And we did, of course, win the FA Cup quarter-final, didn't we, in 2020 on the way to winning the Cup. Very late goal it was, wasn't it, by Danny Ceballos, who got that late goal, didn't he, in that game? Played, of course, in front of an empty stadium. In that FA Cup quarter-final, of course, after the restart from the COVID nonsense that we had. Ty says, this game has Nketiah all over it. I'd imagine Partey will come on for Jorginho. Would love to Smith Rowe on for Martinelli second half. Yeah, see, I would have started some of these players. I mean, Partey, I wouldn't bother risking him. His injury record is terrible, isn't it? Let's just save him for when we're going to need him later on in the season when we've got a lot bigger test than this. I don't think it's worth risking him really in a game like this. But yeah, I'd love to see Smith Rowe, of course, getting on. Eddie, yeah, you can see Eddie. A shot comes in, the goalkeeper makes a save. Was that Declan Rice there with the effort from the edge of the box? It was indeed Declan Rice. And the goalkeeper's made a save. So that'll be a good moment for him, won't it? It's the first save he's made, really. And I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. Not that he's been at fault for any of the goals. His defence in front of him's let him down. He's just been far too easy. Also got a throw over on the far side. Jacob Kiwior, it will be the pole to take it. He got the assist for Martinelli's goal, the third goal. Gunnar Dan says, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, please. Ty says, fair enough. I mean, I personally would bring other players on and leave Thomas Partey sitting where he is for the time being. Don't risk him. Imagine if he comes on and we're 6-0 up, he comes on and gets a silly little injury. I'd rather keep him for maybe Man City and whatever coming up. Anyway, Arsenal looking for more goals here, and why not? Gabriel plays out to the far side to Gabriel Martinelli. Got that third goal. Plays it back to Jacob Kiwior. Now it's with William Sleeves. He's going to try a shot from 40 yards. No, he's not. He plays it instead to Ben White. Opportunity maybe cross the ball. Instead, he goes square back across to Gabriel. Is he going to try a shot from 45 yards? No, he's not. He finds Gabriel Martinelli over on that far side. Puts a cross in. Oh, it would have come to Saka there. Good defensive header, actually. But their shot, Kai Havertz with the effort inside the box. Ball fell nicely to him there. Back to goal. He just hit it on the turn. And it was straight to the goalkeeper, who's now made 2 saves. So I'm sure he'll be feeling a little bit happier with life. And it was Martin Odegaard there, flicked it on, and then Kai Havertz didn't quite get the power behind that, did he? Or you felt that would have been a goal. And they're just showing Declan Rice's effort just a bit before then, which produced a decent save by the Croatian goalkeeper, of course, just signed for Sheffield United in January. And be one of the busiest keepers in the league, won't he? With all the defending that he has to, with the defensive work that he probably has to do when Sheffield United are constantly under pressure. Anyway, it is Sheffield United nil, Arsenal 3. We're midway through the first half, and quite honestly, Arsenal could have scored 2 or 3 more. Just a little side note, actually. The referee tonight is called Samuel Barrett, and I've never actually heard of him. So he must be one of the newer referees that's maybe been promoted from the Championship. Obviously, the PGMOL didn't expect a difficult game for the referee tonight, which is why they've probably given him this opportunity. So far, he's not really had a lot to do, has he? But he's given Sheffield United a free kick, and Arsenal clear it away. And Sheffield United couldn't even really get the ball into the box there very well, could they? But they are in possession now over on this near side. They do, in possession, they do look very, very stiff, don't they? It's not flowing at all for them. We can understand why. And they look as though they're a team that just aren't good enough. They're out of their depth, aren't they, quite honestly? And it's not just against a team like Arsenal. They're out of their depth in the Premier League, quite honestly. And even having, their old manager back who did so well, didn't he, getting them into the Premier League the first time round. It's not quite working, is it? So obviously, as things stand, we're 2 points behind Liverpool, 1 point behind Manchester City. We've got a better goal difference, though, which may be important. So let's try and get some more goals. But of course, there's some big games coming up, isn't there, in March? This weekend coming up, as we know, it is Liverpool versus Manchester City. And then, of course, at the end of the month, we go to the Etihad. And I think the results of those 2 games are probably going to be decisive. We're also coming forward now inside the box. Kai Havertz, it is 4-0. Kai Havertz has scored, and the record away victory is definitely on the card. And Kai Havertz adds his name to the score sheet. Sheffield United are claiming a handball or a foul, and this young referee says no. And fair play to him. Well done, referee. We don't know who you are, but you've done well there. And now more and more Sheffield United fans are leaving. And it is 24 minutes played. It's 4. It's a good finish from Kai Havertz, actually, over on that far side. Sheffield United lost the ball and Arsenal won it back. And Kai Havertz actually won it. And then it was good battling there from Gabriel Martinelli. And then Kai Havertz there just drilled it across the keeper with his left foot into that far corner. That is a good finish. That is a really good finish, actually, you have to say. He battled away well in the first. I don't quite know what Sheffield United are moaning about. I mean, we were just too strong for him. In fact, if anything, it was a foul on Martinelli. Anyway, Kai Havertz didn't care. Drilled it into that far corner. Mark C says, Terry, did you cheer? Canada says, bad timing from Terry, who had already said just before, get 29 off Trossard on double figures income. Well, it might be double figures incoming anyway. And that was a tidy finish, actually. You have to say that was a tidy finish from Kai Havertz. And Gunnar Dan says, no, he didn't, miserable sod. No, he probably didn't cheer. But we cheered anyway, didn't we? It was a good goal. It was a really good goal, a good finish from a difficult angle. Sheffield United now have got an opportunity. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Oh, great save from David Raya. And almost a consolation there for Sheffield United. In fact, I think it may have been offside anyway. and it was Hammer, I think it was. Gustavo Hammer clean through there, 1-on-1. And a good save from David Raya, but I do think the flag was up because David Raya looked as though he took a quick free kick after that. Kurt says, I hate to see team give away game. I don't care how good Arsenal is playing. This is ridiculous. No, you're right. I agree with you. It's not good for the Premier League, is it? It's not a good spectacle. It's just fun to watch from an Arsenal perspective to score these guys. Now, the only thing about this game now is, can we get the record score? No one's ever scored 10 in an away game before in the Premier League, have they ever? I don't think anyone scored more than 8. So let's do it. We've got plenty of time, and let's be honest, we're just ripping them apart at will. So yeah, I kind of agree though. As a concept, as a TV game for the worldwide audience looking at the Premier League, it's not really doing the Premier League any favours, is it? It's just it is men against boys. It's almost like playing a non-league team. Terry says, you're all correct. I kicked the dog instead. No, you've got to be pleased, haven't you? It's another goal. And if Kai Havertz gets the 10th one tonight to break double figures for the first time, in fact, it would be our record ever league victory, wouldn't it? Because I think it's 12-0, isn't it? Our record ever victory. So we could maybe beat that, couldn't we? Who knows? But anyway, certainly it could well be our record Premier League victory, which is 7-0, isn't it? Although that was at home. A record away win, of course, as we know, was a 6-0 against West Ham just a few weeks ago. We've already got 4 here. It was 4-0 at half time against West Ham, wasn't it? But you feel as though what's going to happen in the second half is Arsenal will make some changes. It will disrupt our rhythm and our intensity will drop. So if we're going to get a big lot of goals, you do feel as though we do need to get a few more in this first half before the changes happen. But yeah, Sheffield United haven't laid a glove on us, quite frankly. And it's almost embarrassing. You're absolutely right, Carl, what you said. It's embarrassing for the Premier League. But we don't care. We'll take it. We'll see a few more goals, hopefully. And it could be another one coming up soon. Martinelli over on that far side plays it back to Kiwior. And Martin Odegaard now is over on that far side. He doesn't have to spend much time over there, does he? But he's there at the minute. And he's linking up well. And this is nice play from Arsenal. One-touch passing on the edge of the penalty area. This is really good football from Arsenal. Jorginho, William Saliba, but doesn't actually lead anywhere. And Arsenal in the end go backwards slightly, but we've got possession again, a little bit of space again on this near side for Martin Odegaard. And that's a foul, is it there? Some frustration from Sheffield United starting to come through now. That was Bogle there with a foul. It's going to be a yellow card. And that is going to be what might happen here. Sheffield United's frustration might get the better of them. And we may well see them reduced to 10 men at some point. But Bogle's just got the first yellow card there for that foul on Martin Odegaard. And he can't really have too many complaints, can he? To be fair, it was a wild challenge and he's lucky it's just a yellow. Kelvin says there, the fact is Arsenal will win this game with 8 goals. Quite possibly, yeah. We wouldn't be surprised if it was more than 8 goals, would we? Let's be honest. That's the 8th yellow card that Bogle's got this season. So he's good at one thing, isn't he? He's good at doing fouls by the look of it. He's not much good at anything else, is he, poor fella? But he is a Premier League footballer, so, who am I to criticise him? Anyway, we've got a free kick over on that far side, and Arsenal will be looking for more goals. Didn't we say we wanted a set-piece goal, didn't we? We've not managed a set-piece goal yet, but maybe we will here. It's going to be Declan Rice with his new funky haircut that's going to be taking this free kick over on that far side. Gabriel's in there. Of course, he's in there. He's going to be hungry for some goals, isn't he, Gabriel? The free kick comes in. It's not a very good free kick, actually. It headed out by the first defender, which was Bogle, I think it was. It is a throw to Arsenal. And he goes back to David Raya. He made that big save, didn't he? Well, big save. It was a good save, although it may well not have counted anyway. But it was a good save. 1-on-1 with Hammer, it was. Arsenal just switched off for a second and allowed Sheffield United an opportunity. But David Raya was off his goal quickly and made a good save. And that kind of sums up the form he's in at the minute as well, isn't he? He's looking really, really sharp, really solid. And that's been a massive bonus, hasn't it, for us as well? And you're not seeing too many of the Ramsdale lovers anymore, are you? They've kind of kept quiet as David Raya has proven himself to be a very, very accomplished goalkeeper, isn't he? Adds a calmness to the defence, doesn't he? And not that it makes too much difference in a game like this tonight, but he certainly has done. Anyway, it's a free kick now. William Saliba just conceded one against Ollie McBurney. And you can see the look on the Sheffield United players' faces. It's raining. They're getting hammered 4-0 at home. and they're starting to look very, very frustrated with life, aren't they? We've played 31 minutes, so there's still a long time to go until half time, and still time for Arsenal to get more goals. Now, I can't remember what our record half-time lead is in a Premier League away game. I certainly can't remember us scoring 5 in the first half away from home before. Anyway, McBurney's just committed a foul. And he's a player that tends to get sent off, doesn't he? He could be one that he's going to snap, isn't he, with frustration from the way the game's going. He's getting no service whatsoever. You can understand his frustration to a certain extent. And this is one of the reasons why I wouldn't be bringing Thomas Partey on, because you do feel as though Sheffield United will get to the point where they just don't care. And they'll be committing, as they have done already, a few silly fouls. So it's not worth the risk, is it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again has been the story of this game, hasn't it? Ben White on this near side plays it back to William Saliba. Ben White again. Now Martin Odegaard's come back over to this right-hand side where he looks more familiar, doesn't it? It's where he does most of his work for Arsenal. And that's William Saliba plays it back across to Gabriel. Kelvin says, here in Kenya, Arsenal fans are now fully here at Kitale Town wearing red, which means danger. Team big Arsenal fan. Oh, good to see all the guys in Kenya getting behind the team. That's what we want to see, isn't it? They should be wearing the yellow kit tonight, though, shouldn't they, for the away game? But anyway, it's good to see you all out enjoying it. And I'm sure you're having a good time out there in Kenya. Good to have you with us. Anyway, Arsenal in possession again, just knocking the ball around. If we just show 1% more of intensity in that final third, we'll score again before half time, won't we? So I can't remember scoring 4 in the first half of an away game. Have we before? Maybe we did. I can't remember one. So this could be a record half-time score as it is. And we may still got time. Of course, there's still, 30, 40 minutes left to maybe get some more as well. And, of course, the next game is on Saturday evening, isn't it, against Brentford. That is going to be a little bit more of a test, isn't it, shall we say? We're playing Brentford at the Emirates. They got a draw last season, if you remember. And, of course, Ivan Toney's back amongst the goals, isn't he, for Brentford? So that's going to be a difficult game for us on Saturday evening. Well, a much more difficult game than this one. But, again, it's a game we should win, of course. And I'm sure we will. But anyway, let's get this game finished first. Oh, a nice little flick over the top there. Martinelli on that far side. Can he keep it in? He flicks it back towards Martin Odegaard. It's cleared away by Sheffield United. Not for very long, though. Jorginho exchanges passes with Martin Odegaard. Now it comes to Ben White on this near side. It's a nice first touch. Plays it back to Martin Odegaard. 25 yards out. Dinks across. Not a great cross, actually. It's headed out by Sheffield United. But again, Arsenal just picking up the ball. And Martinelli now with it over on that far side. Now it's with Gabriel and plays it back to Jorginho. Sorry, plays out to this near side. Ben White just plays a nice little ball forward. Martin Odegaard on this near side. And it's gone out there. It's a throw to Sheffield United. It came off Martin Odegaard. Regenda says it's pronounced Kitali. Kitali. Is it? Oh, Kitali. Kitali. Is it not Kitali? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure Kelvin knows where he is in Kitale Town in Kenya, which sounds like it's a lot of fun there at the minute. I'm sure it is. Anyway, it is here a lot of fun as well in Bramall Lane, where Arsenal are currently 4-0 up with 11 minutes to go to half-time. Bukayo Saka's not scored yet, but it's only a matter of time, isn't it? Threads that ball through to Gabriel Martinelli, who has scored, along with Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, and an own goal as well, has given us this 4-0 lead. And we're looking for more now. Martinelli, shot on a turn, it's deflected wide. That may well have been going in, actually. I don't know if the defender knew too much about that, actually. But anyway, it has gone behind for a corner to Arsenal again. And that was lovely football, that inside the penalty. And Martinelli's shot was definitely on target. Whether or not it would have beaten the keeper, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's going to be a corner to Arsenal over on that far side. So it says, I think we can afford getting Benny Blanco higher up and have Saka play more central, maybe. We can basically do what we want, let's be honest. We can do whatever we want. We can play William Saliba up front if we want to. Anyway, it's a corner. And again, we've got these 3 players, Havertz, Kiwior and Gabriel, all beyond the far post. So this is a new little tactic that we're using, isn't it? So let's see whether this corner is going to work. Because the last one we did this, we played it short and it didn't really come to anything. we're going to try something a bit different this time. There's a lot of movement at that back post. It's going to be Declan Rice who's played to the edge of the box instead. Martin Odegaard gets a touch. Is he going to get the shot away? He does get the shot away, but it's blocked. I see what they were doing. It was a distraction, wasn't it? And it's kind of worked a little bit. Martin Odegaard with a cross. Oh, comes towards Kai Havertz. Good defensive header, actually. And Havertz wins the second ball. Now it's with Saka. Arsenal trying something different from set pieces. Martin Odegaard thought about a shot. Finds Ben White. Plays it across the box. Not the greatest cross, actually. Cleared away. Terry says, wasn't we 4-0 up at half time against West Ham? Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, well, I forgot about that. Yeah, of course it was. I said that a bit earlier, didn't I? It needs to be 5-0 at half time, doesn't it? I don't think we've ever been 5-0 up away from home at half time. Let's see if we can get another goal. Saka's gone down. Referee says no free kick. And Saka's slowly getting back to his feet again. He looks as though he was caught there, but maybe he wasn't anyway. William Saliba with a little bit of defending to do. Not that he's had too much of that to do. But it was 4-0 at half time against West Ham. You're right, yeah, and that may well have been the best half-time score away from home that we've had in the Premier League. I can't remember one either. Even when we've had some big wins away from home, we'd never been 4-0 up at half time. I don't think that 6-2 at Derby. I think it was like 2-1 at half time or something, wasn't it? Dan says biggest away when under Wenger was 6-0 in the FA Cup. It was, yeah. I think Dennis Bergkamp scored a couple of goals that day, didn't he? That was. I remember that. Yeah. We got to the final that year, didn't we? But lost to Liverpool. But that was a good Arsenal victory, wasn't it? Yeah, I think there was a couple of own goals in that game actually, from what I remember. But I don't think it was 4-0 at half time, was it? I can't remember what the half time score was in that game. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's trying to get another goal, but that shot again was deflected. They've got a few deflections, haven't they, Sheffield United, to be fair. And it's not like their heads have completely gone down. They're still battling away, aren't they? They're still trying, bless them. And I suppose you've got to give them credit for that. But it's been a very, very tough first half, hasn't it, for Sheffield United here. They're not showing too much bite, are they, or cutting edge to the blades. But we certainly are. And we have been lately as well, haven't we? Dan says, get goosebumps when someone talks about Bergkamp. Yeah, what a player. What an absolute player he was. I still think, yes, obviously Thierry Henry gets all the plaudits and rightly so, but I think Dennis Bergkamp was probably the best all-round footballer I've ever seen play for Arsenal. Anyway, Saka now's got clear again on this near side, pulls it back, and it is 5-0, and Declan Rice has got the goal, and it's 38 minutes gone. Declan Rice gets in on the act as well, and why not? And we have, for quite possibly the first time ever in the Premier League, scored, maybe the first time ever in top flight football, that we've scored 5 in the first half of a game. I'm not sure. We may well have done it in the 1930s under Herbert Chapman when we were scoring over 100 league goals a season. So we probably did it then, maybe. But anyway, 5-0 it is here. And a record away win, not only for Arsenal, but in Premier League history. It's definitely on the cards. Saka again with the assist, pulled it back. And again, Declan Rice left unmarked. And that's 3 or 4 times they've left an Arsenal player unmarked inside the 6-yard box. Terry says, Declan, indeed. We always love a goal from Declan, don't we? And that was well worked. Martin Odegaard found Saka. I mean, it is so easy, but we're making it look easy as well, let's be honest. Gunnar Dan says, got to be a record. It's got to be, yeah. Terry says, get 29. No, keep 29 on. He might get his hat-trick. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, if he can get a hat-trick. Anyway, it's 5-0, and it's been 4 different Arsenal scorers on their own goal. And Saka, our top scorer, still hasn't scored yet. So we're going to get a goal from him, I'm sure. And then, of course, the subs will come on. Eddie Nketiah will probably score about 3 like he did last time against his team. But we've played 39 minutes, and it is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 5. We did win 5-0 on this ground in the FA Cup in 1978. For those who were old enough to remember that, I didn't see the game, but I can remember the score. We went on to the final that year, actually, as well. Seems like when we play Sheffield United in the FA Cup, it tends to lead to a good run for us, doesn't it? And, of course, it was that famous FA Cup game, wasn't there, at Highbury, when the game got replayed, when there was that goal, wasn't there, when we were supposed to give the ball back. And Carnu didn't really know the rules, did he? And Mark Overmars scored. I was on the North Bank that day at Highbury, and it was bedlam, wasn't it? And, of course, the game ended up getting replayed. But we won the replay. It had a great goal by Dennis Bergkamp in that game, didn't it? In the replayed game when he curled one in, which was great, wasn't it? We won 2-1 in the replay as well. Although we lost in the semi-final that year, didn't we? Cole says, "Yeah, this is ridiculous. Something ain't right. Arsenal should not be playing like this. I hope they're not cheating like City." Well, I don't think it's that. I just think Sheffield United are just so bad, aren't they? Let's be honest. And you know, when you're this bad and you're playing against a team that can keep the ball and move the ball like we do, this is what's going to happen, isn't it? And Arsenal going forward again, looking for a 6th goal before half time. Jacob Kiwior finds Declan Rice, and they'll be queuing up the Arsenal players to get more goals now, won't they? And I'm sure some of the subs will want to come on and get goals as well. I'm not quite sure how Arsenal could be cheating. I mean, I suppose it's cheating in a way that we're having to play such a bad team. But anyway, that's just the way it is, isn't it? Everyone's got to play Sheffield United twice, and we're beating them comfortably again. Martin Odegaard inside the box. Is he going to try another goal? Oh, he tried to thread it through to Ben White, and Trusty there, Austin Trusty, the American, managed to get a foot to that. He's going to be another corner to Arsenal. And we haven't had that many corners, have we, actually? Otherwise, Ben White may well have scored then, and he may well have got a 6th goal. And we certainly haven't scored 6 in the first half of an away game. Probably in the first half of any game in the Premier League. We probably had even scored 5 in the first half of a game before. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's going to take this call. And again, we've got the 3 players beyond the far post. And again, are they acting as a distraction? Because again, it's played short. We went through this in the first half, didn't we? Saka again on this near side, cuts in field, twisting and turning. And I'm not quite sure why we've done all this from the corner. Anyway, Martin Odegaard on the edge of the box. The Sheffield United actually working hard to try and keep us out. And then Saka tries a shot, and it's curled it well wide. And it's going to be a goal kick. So I don't know what they've been working on in training, but this new corner setup is not working, is it? At least try and get the ball to the far post, do something. I mean, at least the previous one, it looked like it was a bit of a distraction, and it did at least lead to an effort at goal, but the last couple haven't really, have they? Anyway, Gabriel Jesus is on the bench. I'm sure he'll be thinking, oh, goals. But he's not got to come on yet, has he? So we'll see whether he does it in the second half. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a few changes in the second half. And then it's just a matter of whether Arsenal, I say, want to keep that intensity and try and go for the record. But we've got a record already. The first time a team's ever scored 5 or more in 3 consecutive away games in the top flight of English football. So that's something to be proud of, isn't it? But the opportunity to get more and more is clearly there against a team that are just so wide open. It's ridiculous. And it's almost as though Sheffield United have never watched Arsenal play. It's like, what do you need to do against Arsenal is, you know, shut the spaces down. And they've just left themselves absolutely wide open. But anyway, Kurt says there, but Arsenal must win to stay on pace with Liverpool and City. Don't like them much, but I hate City more. I love Liverpool. It's game on now. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting end to the season, isn't it? And if we can keep our bottle this time, then it could go down to the wire, couldn't it? It could be a really good 3-horse race, couldn't it, right the way down? But my fear still is when the pressure really mounts, when we've got some really tough away games to come that are going to be a lot more challenging than this one and the last few. That's going to be the test, isn't it? Man United away, Tottenham away, of course, Man City away, as we know. If we can come out of those 3 games with a decent number of points, then yeah, who knows? But this is the type of thing, isn't it, where we've seen it before, haven't we? Where Man City and Liverpool, they've proven it before, haven't they? They'll go on a run. They might win their last 10, 11, 12 games. Whoever they play, it doesn't matter. They just go and win them, don't they? And we're going to have to do that this season. You feel as though after the Man City game, which, you know, whether or not we can pick up a result there or not, whatever happens there, we've then got to go on and win every game after that, haven't we? That's what we're going to have to do if we're going to win the league. And even if we're not going to win the league, we still have to do that because we have to keep that pressure on, don't we? Because Man City and Liverpool have done it time and time again, haven't they? They've gone on those runs and they've won their last 10, 11 games, 12 games of the season. They do it all the time. So that's what we're going to have to do, aren't we? Whether we win, lose or draw at City, we're going to have to win the rest. And that's just to keep involved. Because if we start, Man United away, Spurs away, if we drop points there, it's probably going to be too many. It's probably going to be too many points to make up. So let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting, though, isn't it? It is going to be interesting. So let's see what happens. But this game, as a spectacle, is obviously, as a contest, is over. There's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, actually, which we've just got into now. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. There was a foul there on Jorginho by Vinicius Souza. A little bit of frustration again, you feel, from Sheffield United. They have been given an absolute football lesson here in this first half, haven't they? although they haven't really helped themselves, have they, by being absolutely wide open at times, leaving Arsenal players free inside the penalty area to pick their spot. And Arsenal have done that really well. But yeah, it's not been much of a challenge, has it? It's been very, very easy and very comfortable. And it's good, really, because we haven't had to exert too much energy, have we, to get the win. And I'm sure we'll see 5 changes in the second half, give players a rest and give other players an opportunity. And there'll be some players that will be, really keen to get on and score a goal or two in the second half, won't there? There's a few players that you feel will do that or want to do that. So yeah, let's see how that works out, shall we? In the second half. But at the moment, it is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 5. It is indeed 5-0. And it's not half time. Is it going to be another goal? Kai Havertz pulls it back. Oh, was that handball? Kai Havertz claiming handball. But it was an offside anyway, so it didn't matter. Greg says Sheffield United could rally in the second half. Yeah, they might only concede another 2 or 3, mightn't they? That'll be their rally, won't it, in the second half? But yeah, it is probably the most one-sided game of football that you could ever hope to see, really, or not if you would hope to see one, but you would ever see. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? How easy it is. Anyway, it is currently a free kick to Sheffield United, and we have played 2.5 of the 5 minutes of stoppage time, which is what the referee has given, and Arsenal have got the opportunity to maybe score some more goals before half time. Terry says their law of averages 29 will have a bad game before his contract runs out. Well, he's having good games at the minute, isn't he? So let's enjoy it while we can. Mark C says, anyone else stressed about the second half? I'm stressed to see if we can beat the record away win ever in history of football, which I still don't quite know. Of course, Arsenal did win 7-1 away at Villa Park in 1935 when Ted Drake scored all 7. And I think that's our biggest number of goals away from home and our biggest away win. Obviously, there'll be other teams have probably won more. I'm sure Man United scored 8 away from home. Obviously, Newcastle won this game 8-0 earlier this season, didn't they? So, that's what I'm stressing about. Whether we can get all these goals in the second half, keep going and get. I'd love to see us get 10. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? It would be something incredible. I say not good for the Premier League, but we don't care. Ty says, yeah, it's been rare the previous seasons to see Arsenal play against a team we should be beating and convincingly beat the team, especially away. Yeah, I mean, it's great that we're winning these away games in the way that we are. Of course, it is, but it still doesn't mean that when the pressure's on and the big games come later on, more difficult games, can we go and win? Can we find a way to win those games? It's all very well, this is carnival stuff, isn't it? It's all very well doing that, and it's brilliant. And it's great to see. Last 3 away games have been just mad, haven't they? But are we going to be able to find a way to win those difficult away games, the tighter games, even some tight games at the Emirates? Can we find a way in those games when the pressure's on, like in April and stuff like that? Let's see. I hope so. But that's still the question mark for me, because the last couple of seasons, when the pressure's been on, we haven't been able to handle it. And we look at a good team now, but we looked at a good team at the start of last season, didn't we? And we couldn't maintain it. So let's see. Let's wait and see what happens. But let's just enjoy this while we can, because you don't get spells like this very often, do you, in football? Even the Invincibles never really had a run like this. We tended to get the games won in 20 minutes and then just keep controlling the game, didn't we? So this is nice to see, isn't it? Terry says, I must have missed his good ones, only seen him play for Chelsea and us. Anyway, there goes the half-time whistle. That wasn't bad, was it? It is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 5. It is only half-time, by the way. That's not like a full-time score. That's not anything else. It is actually half-time. It is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 5. There has been 5 different goal scorers as well. It was Martin Ødegaard got it all underway after, 3 minutes? We'd already hit the bar before that. The second goal was an own goal. Saka got clear down the right-hand side, and one of the Sheffield United defenders put it past his own goalkeeper to make it 2-0. Martinelli then got the third goal. Slight deflection on that one, but a good move down that left-hand side with Jacob Kiwior, and Martinelli fired home to make it 3-0. The fourth goal was... What was the fourth goal again? I've even forgotten what the fourth goal was. It was Kai Havertz, wasn't it? That was right. Martinelli won the ball with Kai Havertz over on that far side, and then Kai Havertz ran into the box and scored with his left foot into the far corner. Good finish, actually. Probably the best goal, the best finish of the game. And then the fifth goal, of course, was the simple finish from Declan Rice. Good play over on that far side from Saka again. Pulled the ball back, and Declan fired it home. So, yeah, 5-0. Right, isn't it? What more could you want on a Monday evening? Anyway, so there we go. But yeah, let's see what the second half brings. I'm expecting to see quite a lot of changes, if I'm honest, to the Arsenal team in terms of personnel. Yeah, I would imagine at some point in the second half, what we're going to see is we're going to see Gabriel Jesus, we're going to see Leandro Trossard, we're going to see Emil Smith-Rowe, we're going to see Reece Nelson, and we may well see Fabio Vieira, possibly as well. But I think that'll be the subs that we'll make, just to give some players minutes on the pitch. Gunnar Dad says, no Yorkie bar tonight. No, that's only an afternoon game. You can't have a Yorkie this time of night. It's too late in the day, isn't it? I'm on a strict regime, a training regime. Me, can't have Yorkie bars at like 9 o'clock at night. That's not good, is it? And plus, I just had my dinner before the game anyway, before the game started. So I'm all right at the minute. And yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Terry says, I'm not falling for your sweet talking, Richard. 29 is crap. See, he's not though, is he? He's not though. That's the point. He's looking really good now. And yes, okay, he's looked good in these games where we're not being tested, but then he's made impacts in other the harder games as well. And ultimately, he's playing well, and we should be supporting him, really, I think. And if his form dips and it drops off again, then fair enough, we can comment on it. But at the moment, he's playing well, isn't he? Greg says there, can't believe an Arsenal site, they've got Havertz tapping as one of the February's goal of the month. Have they? All those great goals that we've scored. Ty says there, I just don't want to see us concede silly fouls and yellow cards and Sheffield to apply the pressure in the second half. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can see happening is I think the frustration that Sheffield United have been feeling, they've already had one or two silly fouls. That's my concern, that we don't get involved in that, really. Eric says there, thoughts and prayers with Rich and his band of haters. I don't know what you're on about, mate, honestly. But anyway, thanks for tuning in and increasing our viewing. That's always appreciated. So thanks for that. I'll make sure that the extra money that you've made me tonight, I'll put to good use. Definitely. I might buy you. I'll tell you, I'll buy you a pint next game. Yeah, how's that? Seeing as you're such a big fan. Terry says, so does Eddie. So does Eddie. What I've lost track now. Anyway. But yeah, anyway, it's 5-0 to Arsenal, and that's not bad, is it? Let me just right, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to find out if we've ever been 5-0 up at half time away from home before. I'm trying to find out if we have. I don't think we have, I'm pretty sure we haven't. Lee just messaged me there saying that on the show last Monday, I did say that we'd win 8-0. I did say that. And, we're not far off that, are we? And people go, oh, you can't say that. Why not? So yeah, I don't think we have. I can't find anything to say that we have. It doesn't mean that we haven't. Maybe before the Premier League began, when football was still going on, we may well have done it then. But anyway, it's good stuff, isn't it? I mean, these goals they're just showing now, it is just so easy, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Operating says their Gunners on fire. In the next 2 weeks, we should be top of the table. Yeah, I mean, hopefully at the weekend we'll be top if we beat Brentford, and then see what happens in the Liverpool-Man City game, which you do imagine a draw is probably the most likely result from that game, don't you? You do feel as though that's probably what's going to happen. But let's see. If there's a winner in that game, then I think that team is going to have a big advantage, aren't they? Really, when you think about it, if whoever wins that, particularly if it's Liverpool, but then Man City going away to Anfield and winning at this point in the season, that would be a big statement, wouldn't it? A big statement result. And I would say that, City then are going to be the team to beat, aren't they? Then we've got to go to the Etihad. Can we go to the Etihad and get a result? That's the test, isn't it? That's the question mark still, isn't it? We've got Andy there says, that's what Arteta has brought to the team. When are you going to show your appreciation towards him? Well, no, I mean, we're beating probably the worst team in Premier League history, and we're beating them easy. Yes, we've had some big wins recently, and that's great. But what he needs to bring now is showing that when the pressure's on, we can handle it. Because in all the previous seasons he's been here, we haven't been able to do that, have we? And there's still question marks over that this season. It's all very well beating Burnley 5-0, beating Sheffield United 5-0. That's great, right? These are two championship teams, right? Yes, the West Ham game was a bit of a freak result, really, when you look at the results against them. It was a good Arsenal performance, but we got those goals really quickly before half time, didn't we, in that game? And it was just shell shock. But let's see when the pressure's on now. After this game, we've got some much more difficult games to come, haven't we? And let's see, we need to find a way to win those games. And yes, what we've done so far this season, what we're doing at the moment is great. And there's no denying that. But we haven't won anything yet. And if we don't win the league again, where does that put us? Do you know what I mean? It's no different, is it? Again, we're not getting over the line. And how much longer can we keep not getting over the line before we think, well, we need to take that next step? And I don't think we're far away. Absolutely not. Looking at this team, but it takes something extra, doesn't it, to get over the line? We're going to find out in the next few weeks. We always knew we were going to find out nothing tonight. And it's all very well people coming in and saying, "Oh, give Arteta credit, blah, blah, blah." When we're beating Sheffield United, they were terrible. That's fair enough. Let's see where we are. Let's see what happens when we go to the Etihad in 3-4 weeks' time at the end of the month. Let's see what happens then. And if we come away and win that game, then I'll be 100% with you, Andy, and everybody else. I'll be 100% with you, because that's what we have to do. And if we do that, then that's it. That's what I want to see. That's what I've wanted to see. I've wanted to see us win the pressure games under pressure. And we've not done it so far. And when we do, fantastic. That's all I want. That's all I want to see. But let's find out, shall we? Off-Bonham, he says that Raya for Golden Gloves. Yeah, he's up there, isn't he? If he gets a clean sheet today, he'll be winning with a chance, won't he? Dan says, I look, but I can't find the stats for half time. No, I can't either. I say we can remember the 4-0 at West Ham. We've now got a 5-0 here. They've got to be away from home. I mean, at home we may well have been in the 1930s when we won games like 9-1 and God knows what. Potentially, we may well have scored 5 in the first half of games, but certainly not in the Premier League, not away from home. But anyway, we'll see. Terry says, never he's not won nothing yet. No, absolutely, he's not won anything yet. Galadad says, even asked Alexa and she doesn't know. Typical woman. Well, yeah, I mean, what does Alexa know? Greg says, never ask a woman. No, definitely not when it comes to football. Terry says, I'd ask my old woman, but she's out. She seems to know everything. Yeah, well, exactly, yeah. So when she gets back, you have to ask her. She'll know the answer, Terry, absolutely. Greg says, all the teams want now is to get into Champions League. Yeah, they do, but we should want more than that, shouldn't we? It's great being back in the Champions League. You know, we're playing Porto next week, is it? So we've got to get through that difficult game, having lost the away leg. But yeah, obviously we're going to be in the Champions League next season again, aren't we? And you know, we did it all those years under Arsene Wenger, didn't we? Top four, and it wasn't enough. It proved not to be enough in the end. People wanted Wenger to go because it wasn't enough. And at what point are we going to say it's not enough now? You know, do we have to qualify for the top 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years in a row and not win anything before we say, oh, maybe this isn't enough? personally, I think we should look to be more ambitious. Look at some of the players that we've got here. Look at the group of players that we've got. We know that we're not far away. The squad needs boosting up a bit. Yes, we've got a slightly stronger bench tonight with Thomas Partey there, Jesus there, but you know we need to address that, and we're not far away, are we? So we can't. I don't think we're in a position there. If you remember all them years under Arsene Wenger, we were having to sell our top players every year to pay for the stadium, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff, right? And now we're in a position where we don't have to do that. We can build, and if we do that, then we shouldn't have to wait 5 years of top four before we win something. We shouldn't have to wait any longer. It should be there now. In the next 2 seasons, well, and by 2 seasons I mean this season and next season, we should be winning the Premier League. Otherwise, to me, that's not good enough now with the position that we're in, with the squad that we've got, the players that we've got here, and the money that we've spent, and what we're going to spend probably over the next 2 or 3 transfer windows. In the next 2 seasons, we've got to be winning the league. We've got to be. And if we don't, I personally don't think that's going to be good enough. Just coming top 4 now isn't good enough with what we've got and what we've spent and the players. I say the players that we've got here, it's not enough now. But let's see. Donkey says that Arsenal have never been 5-0 up at half time. I don't think we have. I agree with you. I don't think we have. Certainly not away from home, and certainly not since the 1930s. Yeah. I know, actually, there was that game we won 6-2 at Aston Villa in 1983. I was at that game. Tony Woodcock scored 4, didn't he? Or 5? No, 5. I'm sure we scored 4 in the first half in that one. No, we scored. I'm sure we scored 5 in the first half. There was it not 5-1 at half time or something in that Aston Villa game from 1983. Or was it 4 at half time? No, I'm sure it was 5, and then we got a 6 goal after about 48 minutes, and we thought we were going to get 10, and then we did score another one. I'm sure it was 5-1 at half time in that game. Sure it was. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong. But I seem to remember there was a lot of goals in the first half there. But yeah, certainly not in the Premier League, and not 5-0, because obviously that would only have been 5-1. But yeah, I'm sure that was maybe 5-1 at half time in that game. But anyway, we are on track for a record here, aren't we? A record here. Saka's been a bit silent in this game, he should say. But well, he's kind of created 2 goals, the own goal and then the one for Declan Rice. So he's done all right, hasn't he? And he's hit the crossbar. I mean, yeah, if that's a quiet game for Saka, then that kind of shows the standards that he's set. And actually, that's something else, isn't it? I've been seeing a lot of nonsense actually on social media recently, when you've had Man City fans saying, "Oh, Foden's better than Saka," and then you've got Arsenal fans saying Saka's better than Foden. Look, they are 2 exceptional young English players, right? England players, and they're both going to play a big part in the summer Euros, right? It doesn't matter who's better than who. They're different type of players. They've got different strengths, and let's just enjoy them both. Let's just enjoy the fact that we've got 2 of the best young players in Europe that are both English at the same time playing in our team. It doesn't matter who's better and who's not better. I don't care. Foden's a brilliant footballer. He's outstanding. He's quality, right? Bukayo Saka, we know how great he is as well. And that's it. It doesn't matter, does it, who's better, who's worse? Why are Arsenal fans and Man City fans wasting time on Saka and Foden? Who's better, who's better? Who cares? Who cares? They're both exceptional young English players. That's all that matters. And let's just enjoy them both. Let's just watch their development together. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy them in the Euros together when they're going to be playing probably in the same team. They're probably both going to start a lot of games. So let's just get on with it and then say, yeah, let's just accept them. Saka's gone off at half time actually, and Fabio Vieira's come on. So there we go. Whether or not, obviously resting him, hopefully rather than an injury. I'm sure he wasn't injured. Donkey says there, Foden scored a brace against relegation for the United, not impressed. Now, come on, mate. Foden is a quality player. He really is a quality player. I actually love watching Foden play, the way he glides around the pitch. It just makes everything look so effortless. And I just think he's a brilliant player, Foden. And yes, when he's playing for Man City, we don't want him to do quite as well, but he's a great player. And let's just enjoy the fact that we've got 2 great players playing for England. So they made 3 subs. McAtee, McBurney and Davis have gone off. And I didn't see who's come on. Brooks, Osala and somebody else has come on. So they've made 3 subs. That's 4 subs already for Sheffield United. We brought Fabio Vieira on for Bukayo Saka. and we're off and underway in the second half. Arsenal taking a goal to our left, which is good. Donkey says we need to get double digits or my day is ruined. Well, I don't know about that. But let's try and get a record away victory. Would be nice, wouldn't it? And a clean sheet, obviously. All Sheffield United straight away at the start of the second half, looking for an attack maybe. They come out with a little bit more fight about them maybe at the start of the second half. Martinelli's just gone down there. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Sheffield United's shot was deflected and Martinelli's gone down and he's looking as though he needs some treatment. Not sure what happened there, actually, Martinelli. Didn't really see what happened. But anyway, there we go. Let's see what happened here. Oh, he got a probably like a finger in the eye there from the Sheffield United player. Baldock it was, I think, who was the other substitute actually who's come on. And he's gone down. I'm sure he's going to be okay. He does like to make a drama of it, doesn't he? Sometimes Martinelli. Terry says, how many more seasons do you think we have Arteta for before Real Madrid come in on him? Let's hope it's the end of this season. Well, let's see where we are at the end of this season first. If we win the league, obviously a lot of clubs are going to be wanting him, aren't they? Potentially, but I don't think he'll go anywhere. Gunnar Dan says, these idiots on TalkSport, why me out? I never listen to it, mate. Don't bother. I wouldn't bother if I were you. Terry says, let's appreciate Saka because we've still got a Tom Sitcho. Well, no, I mean, let's appreciate the fact that we've got two great English players. Greg says Foden is a good player for a midget. Well, I mean, you know, Saka's not exactly. Well, he's got a bit taller now, hasn't he? But I just don't think we need to bother with all this. Who's better, Lark? They're two great players. Let's just enjoy the fact that we've got two great players. That's what I say. Foden's a great player. Gunnar Dan says Osborne. Osborne. Was he there? He's a. Do you know about Osborne who's come on for Sheffield United? Who came in the first half? Was it him that caught Martinelli? Anyway, it's a throw to Arsenal on this near side. The second half hasn't really got going yet. There's been that hold up as well for the injury, which hasn't helped. Yeah, but I thought it was Baldock. Yeah, that did that. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Martinelli's okay. I think he just got a finger in the eye as he put his arm out to hold Martinelli off. It was only an accident. Anyway, we're back underway again, and Arsenal are in possession with Gabriel inside the centre circle. Are Arsenal hungry for more goals in this second half? That's the question to be asked, isn't it? Are we hungry for more goals? And if we are, let's step on that gas and let's go for it. But I can see the second half being quite dull and Arsenal just keeping possession as we're doing at the minute, sideways and backwards. Nowhere near as penetrative as we were in that first half. But let's see, Ben White tries to head the ball in field. A mistake at the back there by Sheffield United, and Fabio Vieira was almost in for his first touch. And now Sheffield United on the counter attack. Now, you know, if you've ever played amateur football, Sunday morning football, Saturday, whatever it might be, and you've probably been in a situation where at half time you've been losing by 4 or 5 goals, whatever it is. And what do you sort of say at half time? You say, well, let's just go out and win the second half. That's all you can do, isn't it? The game's lost pretty much. So you just want, okay, let's play for some pride. Let's win the second half. That's what Sheffield United would have been saying at half time. You know, Martinelli now sprinting down this near side for Arsenal. We haven't got anybody in the box, actually, apart from Kai Havertz now. But Martinelli goes around the outside. Is he going to go all the way himself? He's won a corner. Good play there for Martinelli. Didn't have a lot of support there, did he? So he couldn't really whip the ball in because there was nobody there. But yeah, he's had a good game, Martinelli, tonight, hasn't he? Not that you can really judge a player when they're playing against such poor opposition, but he's done well and got himself a goal as well, which is always nice, isn't it? But yeah, you know, that's what you do. Don't you? When the game's finished in the first half, you just want to come out and play for pride in the second half, don't you? And that's what Sheffield United will be doing now. They've made 3 substitutions. They're just going to try and win this second half. We've got a corner which Declan Rice is going to take. Of course, he has scored in this game already. His corner towards the near post. Not a great corner again, though. It's headed out by the first defender, actually. And it is going to be a Frodo to Arsenal in line with a penalty on this near side. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 5. And it has been the most comfortable game that we've probably had forever. Or certainly for a very long time. I can't remember too many games that's been quite this comfortable. And it's just about, say, if we just step up the pressure here, you do feel as though we can get a lot more goals if we want them. Fabio Vieira now in possession for Arsenal, their half-time substitute. I expect to see a few more as the second half goes on. Emil Smith-Rowe, I do expect to come on without a doubt. Anyway, let's see. Jacob Kiwior. Oh, that's not a great ball there, is it? And Arsenal haven't quite got the same rhythm. Oh, we just won the ball back though. Kai Havertz picks it up on the edge of the penalty area and Zem fouled as well. He balked that foul because it wasn't a great touch. And all he could do was get his body ahead of Vinicius Souza, which he did. And that enabled him to win at the free kick. In fact, the Brazilian probably got a foot on the ball there for Sheffield United. But anyway, it was a clumsy challenge. It is a free kick. And Declan Rice is going to take... It's on the edge of the box, but it's on this near side. So it's not directly in front of the goal. It's more of a crossing position. But it's only about 2 or 3 yards outside the penalty area. And we've got an opportunity to get this ball into the box. We've got some height in there, haven't we? Kiwior, Havertz, Saliba, all in there. And it's Declan Rice over this. Gabriel was just coming over for a little chat to maybe find out where this ball's going because he wants to get on the end of this, doesn't he? It's Declan Rice is going to take this free kick. And it's right in front of those Arsenal fans behind the goal. Be desperate to see a goal at that end, won't they? I'm sure. And it is going to be Declan Rice with this free. Is he going to go for goal? He does go for goal, but it's straight at the keeper. Comfortable save by the Croatian. And that was maybe wasted a little bit. Maybe he needed to be a cross rather than a shot, but Declan fancied having a go. He's got a goal already tonight. He thought, well, why not try for another one? But that lacked the power or direction to beat the keeper. There's a lot of empty seats in the stadium in this second half. A lot of the Sheffield United fans probably thought, you know what, I've got work tomorrow. Let's just go home and forget about it. And that could be a wise decision, couldn't it? It was packed at the start, and there is empty seats everywhere. Henry says this is a Sunday afternoon stroll. Well, it is. It's a Monday night stroll. And now also coming forward again over on this far side. It's going to be the 6th goal. Chipped across Martinelli. Oh, it would have been a spectacular goal, but it lacked the direction or the power. Cleared away. Fabio Vieira did well in the build-up to that, but Arsenal still in possession. Martin Odegaard tries to thread the ball through to Jacob Kiwior. And it's shuffled behind by Baldock, and it's going to be a goal kick to Sheffield United. But the chance there, maybe Fabio Vieira, why didn't he try for a shot? He got clear down that far side, got towards the edge of the penalty. Could have maybe tried a shot. Instead, dinked it across to Martinelli, who tried to flick it spectacularly towards the goal, but he couldn't get enough power on it. And it's, in the end, comfortably defended. Rajendra says, Gab, we're looking for a goal. Another one, yeah, he getting himself in there, isn't he? But Fabio Vieira could have maybe took that on another couple of touches and had a shot. But he was unselfish, maybe, or maybe not quite up to the pace of the game yet, having only just come on. Of course, he's been out injured as well, so maybe he's not quite in rhythm yet. Otherwise, he may well have shot. But he didn't. And in the end, the chance went away. And the second half certainly hasn't been anywhere near as much fun as the first half was, has it? Yeah, but you know, there's still, we've only played 53.5 minutes, so there's still plenty of time for more goals in the second half. Henry says, even forgot what day of the week. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it's easy, isn't it, to forget when everything's going as well as this. And Arsenal just playing some nice football here. Look at this on the edge of the box. Kiwior touches it back to Gabriel. Is he going to try a shot from 40 yards? No, he's not. He plays in Gabriel Martinelli on his near side. Chips the ball to the far post. All headed out by Sheffield United defender. And Ben White tried to force the ball on to Martin Odegaard. Couldn't quite get enough on it. And Sheffield United briefly get it away, but not for long. And Arsenal now looking to get into their rhythm in the attacking end of the pitch again, as we did in that first half. Martin Odegaard a little bit tight in there, but he's done well, Martin Odegaard. And then Jorginho, and this is good little intricate play, almost threaded it through to Kai Havertz. Couldn't quite get on the end of that. It was cleared away by Sheffield United, and suddenly Arsenal are clicking back into gear in this second half. It's a throw over on that far side in front of what is now a lot of empty seats. And I'll say you can't really blame the Sheffield United fans, can you? It's tough watching your team get taken apart like this. And it's happened to them a few times this season. As we said, Newcastle scored 8 here. Brighton, Aston Villa both scored 5. it's been a tough season for a team that clearly wasn't ready for the Premier League. Not their fault. It's just the way it is, isn't it? And I'm sure they'll regroup next season and try to come again stronger next time. If you remember when they got in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago, they did well, didn't they? For certainly the first 2/3 of their first season, they were doing really well, wasn't they? I remember they got they beat us at Bramall Lane. They got a draw at the Emirates, and they were a difficult team to beat, weren't they? They really were a difficult team to beat. But nowhere near that same level now, are they? This Sheffield United team, and they're even worse than the team that got relegated. Was it two or 3 seasons ago? Anyway, Arsenal going forward again now, and it's played on to Martinelli on this near side, plays it back to Gabriel. Every Arsenal player over committed there, but Gabriel gave the ball away, but then he's won it back, and that's the sort of commitment that we want to see at 5-0 up, isn't it? Martin Odegaard now plays it out to that far side, Fabio Vieira. Now it's with Ben White. Fabio Vieira again. Plays it in to Martin Odegaard. Now it's Gabriel. The ball being played in front of that Sheffield United penalty area. Arsenal attacking the goal, which their fans are behind. And I'm sure they're looking to try and see a few goals at that end as well in this game after those 5 in the first half. Gabriel looking for some movement in front of me, didn't get it. And Arsenal just keeping possession on his in a box with Jacob Kiwior. Now Kai Havertz. This is lovely. Declan Rice plays it into Havertz. Declan Rice again. Oh, it wouldn't quite fall from on the edge of the box. That would have been nice if it had come off. Some nice little one-touch football from Arsenal on the edge of the penalty area. We've done that really well tonight, but we've had the opportunity to do it, haven't we, by the fact that Sheffield United can't even lay a glove on us. They can't even foul us anymore. We're just knocking the ball around. This game's getting back to the similar pattern of that first half, just lacking a goal so far. But that's a good ball over the top. And Arsenal again here. That ball's late, but it wasn't a great ball. Shot comes in. Oh, it's a goal. It is 6-0. And that is Ben White. And that is actually a really good finish from Ben White. He definitely enjoyed that one. It's a great finish. Arsenal have got 6. And we are definitely on course, aren't we, for our biggest ever away win. We've just equalled it because the West Ham game was, and there's only 57 minutes played. And that was a great finish from Ben White in front of those Arsenal fans. And that's what his second goal of the season, isn't it, Ben White? He doesn't score too many, does he? But that one was worth waiting for, wasn't it? It'd been a nice bit of spell of pressure from Arsenal anyway. And it was good play. Kai Havertz played it back, and then Ben White bang in that far corner. That is a great finish. Good play from Kai Havertz as well. Just laid the ball off, and that is a good first-time hit, seeing as he was having to readjust his position as well to get on the end of that. And then he banged it in. That's a great finish. That is. The keeper got a hand on it, couldn't keep it out. That is a great strike with his left foot as well. And Terry says, yes, White. Benny White, indeed. That was a great goal, a great finish, and it's 6-0 again. It's quite a lot of fun watching Arsenal at the minute, isn't it? And there's still a lot of time for more goals. Is the double figures on the cards? Who knows? Anyway, Arsenal are in complete control of this game, as we have been right from the start. It is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 6. And it's been a lot of fun, hasn't it? Let's be honest. Greg says there, thank goodness that we're having a goal drought. We were a bit of a goal drought there, wasn't we, in the second half? It was looking like I was starting to worry and think, why can we not score a goal? But we just put that right. And it was Ben White, the 6th different goal scorer in this game, with the 5th different Arsenal player to score. Incredible, really. I wonder what the record is for different goal scorers in a game as well. Maybe we can beat that record as well. Be nice, wouldn't it? Jacob Kiwior on this near side plays ball back into Martin Odegaard. Terry says that deflected perfectly into White's pass. It was a great ball from Kai Havertz. Anyway, Arsenal have now got another corner. We've played 59 minutes. And there's still time for more goals, of course, as we know. Lots and lots of time. And the Arsenal fans behind that goal have been enjoying the evening, of course, as we all are. And we might enjoy it a bit more in a minute if we get another goal from this corner. It'll be the first time we've scored 7 away from home in a Premier League game, if we can manage it. Records are falling right, left and centre at the moment, aren't they? Anyway, Declan Rice's corner edge of 6-yard box. It's flicked on. Oh, and I think it was Martinelli coming at the far post. Couldn't quite get there. And Sheffield United have cleared it away. Gallagher said, I missed that. I was refreshing the page. You see, well, you missed a great goal. And Ben White absolutely smashed that in. Great stuff. Ty says 7-0 in the UEFA Cup game was our record away score. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was Standard Liège in 1994. Terry says deflected. It wasn't deflected. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus is warming up. Cedric Suarez is warming up as well. And we saw Thomas Partey warming up as well. So we could get a few more substitutions yet, couldn't we? Anyway, I was coming forward again looking for some more goals first. And maybe we might see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe get to 10. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And I say there has been incredibly 6 different goal scorers in this game. Half the team. It's like who put the ball in the Tottenham net, half the team did, and who's put the ball in the Sheffield United net, half the team did. And that's basically what's happened tonight. Half the team have, well, half the outfield players anyway. And there's still, I say, lots of time for more. And Sheffield United trying to come forward actually on this near side. A rare attack for them. A little bit of space here. Sheffield United going to get an opportunity to at least lift the gloom, but that's a poor cross. David Reyes there. He won't want to concede a goal, will he? After the way this game's gone, he'd be desperate for another clean sheet, which he almost got, didn't he, in that Newcastle game, but that late goal, Martinelli's gone down again, claiming he was fouled, but the referee's given him nothing. And he might need some treatment, or he's going to get some treatment. And if he's going to be 3 subs, it's going to be Cedric Suarez, Thomas Partey and Gabriel Jesus are all coming on for Arsenal. And they're just showing some of these goals again. In fact, they're showing all the goals again, all 6 of them. And they've been well worked and well finished, you have to say. Some great goals. Kai Havertz goal there. Great finish that was. And Declan Rice's goal. And, of course, the latest one from Ben White as well, which was a great finish. But we're going to make some substitutions now. And we'll see who's going to come off. Ben White may well be coming off, actually, because Cedric Suarez is coming on. You'd imagine he's going to play at right back. Martinelli's probably going to come off, isn't he, for Gabriel Jesus. And who do we think will come off? Will it be Jorginho coming off for Thomas Partey? And Martinelli's actually hobbling off now, which isn't very nice, is it, to see in a game like this where, we're winning comfortably and hopefully it's not a serious injury, just like a foot injury. He's not even putting his foot on the pitch, on the floor, which is a bit of concern, isn't it? As he's hobbling off. He's not on a stretcher, he's being helped off, but he's having to hop. Anyway, Sheffield United have made a substitution as well. And Ollie Arblaster's coming on for them. And he's deciding who to give the captain's armband to, and he's giving it to Robinson. And Martinelli's going to play no further part in this game. Terry says Nelly don't look good. No, he doesn't. It looks like it could be, and I hope I'm wrong. It looks like it could be a metatarsal in his foot, because I've done that, and that's how I had to hobble about. Anyway, so he's gone off. Gabriel Jesus has come on to replace Martinelli, and Thomas Partey is coming on. His first appearance for a very, very long time. Is Jorginho going off? We assumed it would be. Decent game from Jorginho tonight, and it's good to see Thomas Partey back looking rather trim, isn't he? So it's good to see him back. Thomas Partey is coming back on for Arsenal, and Cedric Suarez will be coming on as well. You assume it'll be for Ben White, but we will find out very, very shortly when the ball goes up for the third sub. And Martinelli's been helped down the stairs. That doesn't. It is Ben White going off. What a great goal from Ben White, actually. Brilliant stuff from him. Played pretty well tonight, didn't he? And it's Cedric Suarez coming on as well. So hasn't decided to bring on Smith Rowe or Nelson, interestingly enough. But anyway, you'd rather bring on Cedric Suarez. But there you go. Terry says, Partey looking fit after his prison sentence. I don't know if he's been to prison yet, but anyway, maybe he will be. Alaid says there, well, just a few hearts. Yeah, exactly. And what also not to love about watching this great Arsenal win tonight. And that's what it is. It's 65 minutes. There's not many games. Well, there has been recently, but over the years, there's not been many Arsenal games when after 65 minutes, you just relax thinking, one, we haven't got to worry, no stress. And just looking forward to seeing if we can score some more goals. We've made some substitutions now. So that's 4 in total. There's still one more substitution that we can make. And I wonder if we will see Emil Smith Rowe. Will it be Trossard? Will it be Nelson? We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Anyway, I'm sure we will see another substitution because we've got one more, so I'm sure we'll make it. Ty says, I can't believe White is coming off. Suarez and Vieira on the right. Well, yes, I know it's not great, is it? But let's face it, it is only Sheffield United. So if we're ever going to play those two on the right-hand side together, why not let it be now? But I wouldn't have brought Cedric Suarez on anyway. I'd have, as I say, I'd have brought maybe Smith Rowe on or Nelson, someone like that. And but anyway, let's see what happens. See if we can get some more goals. That's what we want, don't we? We want to see another few goals here. And you do feel as though we can certainly get some more goals. But Sheffield United playing a little bit of nice football now for the first time this evening, moving the ball around the pitch. They've got up to halfway. Redendra says, need to look after the defenders. Yeah, but the 2 defenders we need to look after are still on the pitch, Gabriel and Saliba, because if either of those 2 gets injured, we are in big trouble, aren't we, with the games that we've got coming up. And tonight, we could, these are the sort of games when you could rest them 2, but we haven't really got anybody else, have we? And that is the problem, isn't it? We don't really have any other centre-backs in the squad other than Raoul Walters, who's not even on the bench tonight. Obviously, Ben White can play centre-back, but I don't think any of us really want to see him play there. Jacob Kiwior can play centre-back, but we don't really want to see him play there. So that's an issue that needs to be resolved next season, certainly. We need some backup for those 2, don't we? Because you can't just rely on him playing every single game. Because we saw what happened last season when Rob Holding was the backup. Terry says, it ain't good to see Raya just hoof it clear when in trouble instead of trying to play ourselves out. And exactly, yeah, I like to see that all day long. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus now is playing on this left-hand side. Plays it in field to Declan Rice. Pings the ball over to the far side looking for Fabio Vieira, who's actually offside, which is a shame, isn't it? And those few Sheffield United fans on that stand over on the far side are kind of enjoyed that. They've not had much to enjoy tonight, have they? Let's be honest. They're just showing a Gabriel injury there, which happened just a few moments ago. And I say that it worried me that could be a metatarsal, because I've done mine a couple of times and kind of a similar incidents to that, where you're going to kick the ball, they kick your foot, and the boots these days are so flimsy, aren't they? They don't really offer a lot of protection, do they? Let's hope it's not that. I hope it's something less serious, but I guess we'll find out in the fullness of time, won't we? Anyway, Arsenal still coming forward again with Gabriel Jesus. He'll be desperate for a goal, won't he? Gabriel Jesus, not played for a while due to his injury. He'd like to come back with a goal, wouldn't he? Doesn't score enough, as we've said. He's our number 9 in shirt number, but he certainly doesn't score enough goals, does he? And there's no question about that. And he's injured too many times as well, isn't he? So there's no question about that either. But he is a great player. But we want to see him score more goals. That's what we need him to do. And he's got an opportunity now tonight, you feel, in these last 20 minutes to get himself a goal or 2. Because there's going to be chances, isn't there? We keep banging away. We're going to create more chances, aren't we? Even though our intensity's dropped massively in the second half. It's almost just a training session now, isn't it? Anyway, the ball is now with Jesus on this near side. Plays it back to Jacob Kiwior, gets it back. Oh, a nice little flick. Declan Rice now on this near side. Plays it back to Thomas Partey. Finds Martin Odegaard. Thought about a shot, but his first touch let him down a little bit. But Arsenal won the ball back straight away with Gabriel, and Cedric Suarez dinks one forward, looking for the run of Fabio Vieira. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. Wasn't a great ball actually in the end. Didn't really give him a lot of chance, did it? Poor old Fabio Vieira. And it's gone out for a goal kick. Rajendra says, need Dr. Martin's steel toe cap shoes. I'm not sure you'll be able to wear them playing football. But the boots are too flimsy these days, aren't they? They don't really offer that much protection. But anyway, I don't know whether that is what's happened to Martinelli. It just reminded me of when I did mine, that was all. Anyway, it is going to be a throw now. I don't know whether there's some updates there. Mikel Arteta talking to his coaching staff. And let's hope it's not a serious injury with the games we've got coming up. Because, of course, if it is a metatarsal, he'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks, won't he? And that would rule him out of a lot of the big games we've got coming up. So let's hope that that's not what that is. But it looked like it may have been. But anyway, Arsenal now back in possession over on that far side. William Saliba finds Gabriel. Now he's found Jacob Kiwior. And he plays it back to Gabriel again. Now it's with William Saliba. And Arsenal just comfortably keeping possession. And we've managed the game pretty well in the second half, haven't we? Considering the drop of intensity that we've obviously had. Inevitable that was going to happen. I mean, you can't. When you're 5-0 up at half time, trying to maintain that is difficult, isn't it? That level, it's really difficult. And yeah, you can't really blame them, can you, for dropping off like this? But we have added one more goal, and I say we've still got time, and some of these subs are going to want to make an impact, aren't they? Declan Rice now striding forward from midfield. He's got himself a goal tonight as well. Gabriel now very deep, plays the ball back to, Gabriel Jesus plays it back to Gabriel. Now William Saliba, Martin Odegaard over on that far side, touches it through to Fabio Vieira. Now it's back with Cedric Suarez. Probably can't believe his luck, can he, Cedric Suarez? He's on a big contract, so he doesn't have to play very often, and he may end up winning a title medal or something. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. Oh, and there's an offside flag, is there? There was an offside flag against, was that Gabriel Jesus? It was, and he was offside. Good decision by the linesman, actually. And in the end, it would have been a corner, actually. It's a goal kick. And Trossard's coming on now. Leandro Trossard is coming on. So no Emil Smith-Rowe tonight, no Eddie Nketiah, no Reece Nelson. And Declan Rice is going off. A great performance from him again. Of course, you'd expect him to play well against a team like this. And Trossard is coming on, and Declan Rice gets a well-deserved rest for these final, 17 minutes. And Leandro Trossard, who always looks a lot older than his age, doesn't he? But he's a very good player as well, isn't he? Leandro Trossard. Terry says, Trossard on, Rice off. Indeed, that is what happens. And that's all our 5 subs now, isn't it? And I say there'll be a few on this pitch wanting some goals. Thomas Partey wins that header. And Arsenal looking to try and come forward again. But David Raya come right to the edge of his area, picks that ball up. Another solid performance from the Arsenal goalkeeper. Those that questioned Mikel Arteta over the goalkeeper situation probably feel a little bit stupid now, don't they? Because Aaron Ramsdale's rather erratic behaviour in goal is nowhere near the calming influence that David Raya has been. And he's just a much better goalkeeper. I said last season, even when we were top of the league, I said, you don't win the league with Aaron Ramsdale as your goalkeeper. You just don't. He's just not good enough. And thankfully, I've been critical of Mikel Arteta, as you know, but he got that decision 100% right. And I supported him from the start with it. And it's proved to be the right decision, hasn't it? And maybe we all need to sometimes trust Mikel Arteta more than maybe we do sometimes. But that was the right decision. I felt it at the time, and obviously even more so now when we've seen how he's played. Anyway, Jacob Kiwior gave the ball away, but it's just won it back. And that's all you can do, isn't it? Every player's going to maybe give the ball away at times, and that's fine. because it happens. What you've got to do, though, is at least attempt to win it back. And Jacob Kiwior did it there. We had an earlier one as well. I can't remember what gave the ball away earlier and just won it straight back. And that's what you've got to do, haven't you? That is what you've got to do. And Arsenal shape's a little bit weird. Kai Havertz has come over to that left-hand side of the midfield three, and Trossard's gone to play on the left-hand side, and then Gabriel Jesus has now gone through the middle. So a few different options here. Ty says, Kiwior's massively surprised me. Yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he? And he surprised me a little bit, actually, yeah. Certainly as a left-back. I mean, he was brought in mainly as a centre-back, wasn't he? A left-sided centre-back. And we thought, oh, he's coming for cover for Gabriel. And maybe that was the original plan, I'm not sure. But he's done brilliantly at left-back. And I suppose it's just nice to see a left-back that can defend, as opposed to the previous one that we've been having this season who couldn't. Terry says, a good tactics by iPod Andy. Get Trossard up front and move 29 out of the way. Well, we'll see. Maybe Trossard might get a goal, but this is a nice ball played through. It's an opportunity for the 7th goal. Oh, and again, it was Gabriel Jesus. Instead of shooting, tried to pull it back to Fabio Vieira. He's won the corner, but that's where you want your number 9 having a shot. Yes, it's a tight angle, but it's a shooting opportunity there, isn't it, for a centre forward? The ball played through to him. Yeah, shoot across the keeper, and he's trying to cross it. Yes, it was blocked anyway, but he was trying to cross that rather than shoot, and that's why he doesn't score enough goals. You know, sometimes you want that Ian Wright kind of attitude where I'm in the penalty, I'm going to shoot, because that's how you score goals, isn't it? Anyway, we've got a corner. Fabio Vieira is going to take this over on that far side. All our normal penalty takers have gone off, haven't they? So it's left to Fabio Vieira, who's going to curl this in with his left foot. There's a lot of movement inside the 6-yard box. A corner is going to have to be retaken because there was some pushing and shoving going on there. An Arsenal player ended up on the floor. Kai Havertz it was. And the referee is just having a word there with the German. It's another, the corner's going to be taken again. Anyway, not quite sure what happened there, but Kai Havertz ended up on the floor. And it's just retaking this corner. And Arsenal again, I've got 3 players sort of beyond the far post. Is this going to work this time or not? Now there's some movement there. And there's some movement again. The corner comes in, but it's headed out. Again, it doesn't beat the first man. Some of our crosses into the box haven't actually been great, have they, at times in this game? And Martin Odegaard now with a much better cross. A free header. Oh, put wide. It was Jacob Kiwior there. Again, Sheffield United not picking up their men. And Jacob Kiwior with a free header from about, 12 yards. Should have maybe done better with that, actually. It was a great cross. But he was standing still when he headed it. It was slightly behind him. And he had to readjust his position, but he's headed it wide instead of heading it straight towards the goal. But anyway, he maybe could have done a bit better there. But no, I mean, Kiwior's been great. And I say it's good to have a left back who can defend. It makes you feel a lot more comfortable, doesn't it? You know, so many times when Zinchenko's been there, every time the other team win the ball, he's never in his right position. And yeah, it's always a worry, isn't it? But, you know, Jacob Kiwior has been really, really solid. And, yeah, fair play to him. Young player, you know, came into the team last year, came to the club last year, and he's done really well. And Arsenal are trying to play it out from the back. And now we're trying to thread it through the lines there, but it was well cut out, actually. And that was Kiwior again, actually, with that pass. He's been involved in quite a few things at the minute, isn't he? He's doing some defending now. And we win that ball. And it goes all the way back to David Raya into the last 11 minutes of normal time. It'll be a bit of a stoppage time, won't it, at the end of this game? We've had a few stoppages, haven't we? Obviously, the Martinelli injury, which has been the only downside, really, for tonight, hasn't it? Thomas Partey then pings the ball over the top looking for Jesus, who may well have been offside. But it ran through to the goalkeeper in any case. So it didn't matter, did it? And Saka sitting on the bench there in his beanie hat, looking not very happy with himself. But he had a decent first half, didn't he? He set up 2 of the goals. Let's hope it's not an injury that he's picked up. And he was just rested at half time. Doesn't very happy, does he? But anyway, he certainly played his part in what's been, as we said, a really impressive Arsenal performance again, that first half in particular. And the second half just been about managing the game, really, hasn't it? Not doing anything stupid. And yeah, adding more goals if we can. We've added one more. You do feel as though we're going to get maybe another goal or two in the final sort of spells of this game. Sheffield United will obviously be tired, having worked so hard just to try to stem the flow. And you do feel as though there's going to be one or two big opportunities to come still in this game for Arsenal. And there could well be some more goals. Let's hope so. Be nice, wouldn't it? I say the record, the 10 goals may be gone now, hasn't it? I don't think that's going to happen. But we could still equal the 8, couldn't we, that Newcastle got here? But we shall see. Anyway, Jacob Kiwior on his near side finds Kai Havertz, plays it forward to Leandro Trossard. Not really had much involvement since he came on as yet, but he's done well there. Plays the ball out to that far side. Finds Cedric Strider. We've given the ball away. We said we didn't want to be sloppy, and we've been sloppy. But there's only one Sheffield United player on his own. He tries a shot from the end of the box. He had no support anyway, and it's gone flying high over the bar. Osula it was, and that's a rare shot at goal and a mistake by Arsenal. Cedric Suarez it was. The pass to Thomas Partey always had him struggling, and the substitute for Sheffield United actually did well to create some space for the shot, but the shot was terrible. And it went high into that stand behind that goal. I say where we were in the Euros a couple of times. It's a nice old stadium, Bramall Lane, isn't it? It's in the middle of houses and typical old style ground. Now Arsenal on a counter attack. Gabriel Jesus needs some support. Kai Havertz has took over. Kai Havertz, is he going to go himself? He finds Gabriel Jesus inside the area. And it's that's a good save, actually. Jesus tried to curl that in. In fact, Kai Havertz is going to keep this in as he's gone behind. It is a corner to Arsenal. That was a good counter-attack there. Jesus and Kai Havertz combined pretty well there. In the end, it was a good save from Grich, the Sheffield United goalkeeper. That was a good counter-attack there, wasn't it? And Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz there combined well. And then Gabriel Jesus cut in field, curled the shot. Good save with his fingertips there. And the ball went out for a corner. Really goals, has he? Really this season, and of course a lot of injuries as well. But it is another corner to Arsenal into the last 8 minutes of normal time, and let's see if we can get a goal from a corner. We haven't managed to get one from a corner tonight, have we? Let's see if we can. And there was an injury there to Trusty. Looks like he's got a back problem, but he's back on his feet again. He's going to try and defend this corner. And our corners haven't been great in this game, let's be honest. But this one's going to be taken by Fabio Vieira. The last one didn't beat the first man. Let's see if this one can do any better. We've got some height in it, haven't we? And we have scored a lot of goals from corners this season. Are we going to get an opportunity to get another one here? Fabio Vieira's corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, Jacob Kiwior was in there, but it's headed out by the Sheffield United defender there. And now Sheffield United can try to get the ball clear. And they do towards halfway. But Arsenal again pressing high up the pitch, trying to win this ball back. But good play though from Sheffield United. They've done well here actually. This is one of their best moves they've put together now. They've got the ball up this near side. This might be an opportunity for them to get a consolation maybe. Oh, it was a good run, but again the shot there was terrible. Just as it looks like it was going to open up there. That was Bogle, the defender. That was a defender's finish. They tried to hit it with the outside of his foot. And it's gone harmlessly wide. And that pretty much sums up Sheffield United's night, doesn't it? To be honest, on the rare occasions that they've come forward, had opportunities, the finishing has been dreadful. And yeah, they're just, as I said, they're not a very good team, are they? And this is the sort of game that Arsenal should be coming and winning comfortably. We have come and won comfortably. And it's been a very satisfactory night all in all, isn't it? Even if the second half's been a little bit flat, but we kind of expected it would be. And that's the trouble when you get so many goals in the first half, isn't it? The second half quite often is a little bit of a damp squib, isn't it? And that seems to be what's happening here. But anyway, there's still, 6 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. There's still time to add another goal or so to the total. And can we get that 7th goal, which would be our biggest Premier League away win, beating, of course, the 6-0 that we beat West Ham by just a few weeks ago. The goals have been flying in lately, haven't they? Now, Martinelli guy's just turned away there. That's good play. He tried to thread it through to Trossard. He was fouled, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal as we move into the last 5 minutes of this game here at Bramall Lane. Can Arsenal add more goals before the end of the night? We've already got the best goal difference in the league now by quite some distance. We've gained 17 in our last 3 away games. We've had 20 if you look at the last 4 games. And we've got plus 20, 21 goals and 1 conceded. Incredible, really. But we have got some far bigger tests to come over the next few weeks. So I'll refresh the page again. Maybe they'll score. Yeah, it might be worth doing that. Maybe it might help, mightn't it? Who knows? We need something to spark us into life because it's been very flat, hasn't it? Certainly since that 6th goal. It was a little bit flat before then anyway. We put together a couple of good moves. And then, yeah, that 6th goal kind of killed it off. Anyway, the cross comes in, but it's too close to the goalkeeper. He drops the ball, but he's under no pressure. And Jesus couldn't get there anyway. And we're into the last 4 minutes of normal time. There will be some stoppage time, of course. There will, I would say, 4 or 5 minutes. Or is the referee going to feel sorry for Sheffield United and blow a little bit earlier than maybe he could do, as the game is well and truly over as a contest, of course, as we know. I suppose a good opportunity to tell you what's coming up on the channel. On Wednesday, we are back. It's another Matchday live. It is the Arsenal Women's Cup semi-final, Continental Cup semi-final action against Aston Villa. Join me at 7 o'clock for that one, 7:15 kickoff. And of course, Friday, we're back with the Arsenal Women's show. And Saturday evening, Arsenal versus Brentford from the Emirates. So it's all coming up, isn't it? It's big week, busy week on the channel. Cross comes in there from Arsenal, headed out. Well, actually, not headed out very far, actually. Sheffield United can't get the ball away, which they've struggled to do most of the night, actually. But anyway, Cedric Suarez now on that far side. Can he get a cross in? He does get a cross. It's not a bad cross, but it's easily headed out. Comes to Thomas Partey. Now it's on the edge of the box. Kai Havertz. Is he going to get back to Thomas Partey? He does. And he dinks the ball over to that far side. Sure, that's an offside against Vieira. Good feet there. Oh, but he got himself in a bit of a Jesus. So he got himself in a bit of a tangle. In fact, he was offside. And it will be a free kick to Sheffield United. A little bit better though from Arsenal, wasn't it? That was quite a nice move. Thomas Partey's lofted ball over the top. And Jesus says showing some nice feet, but he was offside. He couldn't get a shot away. And you see that is his problem, isn't it? For me, that is his problem, isn't it? He gets himself in so many positions. Ty says so many offsides this half. Yeah, particularly Jesus. He's been offside about 3 times, and the little time he's been on. And maybe he's just a little bit too keen, isn't he, to get himself a goal, maybe. But anyway, Sheffield United now in possession. We don't want to concede a daft goal at the end of the way like we did against Newcastle. We want to get that clean sheet. And William Saliba now plays the ball to Jacob Kiwior up this near side. Finds Leandro Trossard. Plays the ball in field. This is nice from Arsenal. Thomas Partey. A little bit of space for him. Plays the ball forward to Cedric Suarez. Plays it off. This is nice from Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus now has popped up over on that far side. That's with Thomas Partey again. We're into the last 90 seconds of normal time. What has been a very, very comfortable Arsenal victory. Another big away win for Arsenal. And after 27 games, this is the most we've ever scored in a Premier League season. 68 we're on. And that's 5 more than any other season at this point, which is good, isn't it? So let's see how we're going to finish the season. But I'll say some far bigger tests to come. And we're not going to find it this easy all the time, are we? Anyway, this ball lofted over the top. Are we going to get a 7th goal? No, we're not on this particular occasion. Another offside. And Sheffield United may be playing a higher line in this second half. Maybe learnt a little bit from that first half. And they have caught Arsenal offside a lot more times in the second half, which has led to not helping the flow of the game from a spectator perspective. But no one really is bothered. We're winning 6-0. That is absolutely fine, isn't it? Anyway, it's a free kick to Sheffield United. And we're into the last 30 seconds of normal time. How much stoppage time do we think there'll be? 5 or 6 minutes, maybe. I think potentially that's what we'll get, won't we? with these substitutions. There's been 1 or 2 stoppages as well. It's been a bit more of a bitty second half, hasn't it? Not really flowed as well as we might have liked. But are we really that surprised or that bothered? I'm not really. We've got the game won. We've done the job we had to do. And yeah, what we needed is, so we're going to find out stoppage time now. We've hit the 90-minute mark. I don't think it'll be too long, will it? Let's be honest. I went 5 minutes. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again up this near side with Leandro Trossard, who's keeps possession well, actually. It was going to be 5 minutes. I had a feeling that's what it might be. Anyway, Trossard again plays it in field to Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus now. And he commits a foul. It's going to be he's fouled by Baldock. Terry says 5 minutes. Indeed, 5 minutes. So we've got 5 minutes to get another goal or 2. Anyway, Thomas Partey. We don't look as though we're going to score again, do we? I think we've kind of accepted that 6 is going to do us. And why not? It's fine, isn't it? It's a great victory. It's been a great performance again, but you have to say the opposition have been very, very poor. And you can only beat what's in front of you. And that's what we've done. But yeah, we haven't really been tested at all, have we, in this game? It's just been an absolute stroll in the park. Arsenal in possession now. We've played a minute of the 5. We're just counting down towards the final whistle now, aren't we? To bring an end to what's been a good spell of games for Arsenal, isn't it? One more of the easier fixtures, shall we say. I don't think it will be easy against Brentford on Saturday night at all. I think that's going to be a much more competitive game, and I think we're going to be tested a lot more than we have done in some recent games. But the way we're playing at the minute, you do fancy our chances to win that game and keep that pressure on, of course, with Liverpool. Well, we'll go top, won't we, if we win that game, because Liverpool and Man City both don't play until Sunday, of course. They play each other, as we know. So that's going to be good, isn't it? I suppose a draw would be the best result for us. But as I say, I don't really look at the other team's results. We keep winning our games, and that's all we can do. Keep winning and keep winning. And then we'll be, wherever we end up is where we'll end up. But we can't do any more than that, can we? Win our games. I say that Man City one is the big one, isn't it? At the end of March, that is going to be the one that's going to decide it. And Martin Odegaard's been given player of the match. I suppose not surprisingly, he's had a good game, but these are the games where Martin Odegaard tends to shine, doesn't he, against the weaker opposition. I still want to see him in a lot of the big games really impose himself like he has done tonight, because we know he's got the ability to do it. We want to see him do it in those big games as well. You know, the Man City away, the Man United away, Tottenham away. We want to see him dominate those games in the way that he has done tonight. And that's the next step for him, isn't it? It's the next step for this team as well, to be able to do that in those difficult games and find ways to win them. And let's see if we can. We're coming forward again. We've played 3 minutes of the 5. Gabriel Jesus came close to scoring a little while ago, dinks the ball into the box. Kai Havertz flicks it on, looking back for Jesus, but Sheffield United do clear that away, but not for very long. Thomas Partey touches it off, played it back over top, looking for Thomas Partey again. Martin Odegaard, but that was too close to the goalkeeper and easily dealt with there. So we're coming down to the last few moments of this game here tonight. It's been a very, very comfortable Arsenal victory, as expected. All this nonsense about, oh, it might be a tight game. No, it was never going to be a tight game, because Sheffield United are a terrible, terrible team. Anyway, there's been a foul on Gabriel. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And it was an arm across his face, actually. So you can understand why that was given. And it was Ozola had that one rare opportunity for Sheffield United in this second half, didn't he? We're into the final minute now of stoppage time. And yeah, the stadium at Bramall Lane is largely empty, apart from the Arsenal fans behind that goal to our left where Ben White smashed that ball in. Seems like a long time ago, all these goals, don't they, really? And they were, most of them. But anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? It is a very comfortable night's work for Arsenal. And we move on to bigger tests to come, as we said. Anyway, Thomas Partey now in possession in the middle of the park. Doesn't look quite as sharp as he has done, but of course he's been out for ages. What would we expect? He's just trying to build his way back in, isn't he? I mean, I said I didn't really want to risk him tonight, but I suppose it's been good to get some minutes on the pitch, get a touch of the ball in a competitive game, even though it's not that competitive, really, is it? The second half hasn't really been, but none of the games been anyway. Thomas Partey now finds Jacob Courier. We're coming up to the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Kai Havertz now on his near side, tried to pull the ball back, and it's just whatever time the referee is going to add on. In fact, there's no more time. We have finished here at Bramall Lane. It has finished a very, very comfortable Arsenal victory. It is Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 6. 6 different goal scorers. We've equalled our highest ever Premier League away win, and that will do us nicely for this evening. Mark C says a boom shanker indeed. That was a good performance, wasn't it? So yeah, it all started, didn't it, very early on. Martin Odegaard gave us the lead after 4 minutes. We'd already hit the crossbar with Bukayo Saka before that. It was Saka's cross that then led to an own goal to make it 2-0. It was 3-0 soon after. Gabriel Martinelli, it was, fired home with the help of a slight deflection. The fourth goal was a really good finish from Kai Havertz after him and Martinelli had done well to win the ball back high up the pitch. That made it 4-0, and it was 5 before half-time. Saka's pullback was dispatched by Declan Rice. That was 5 at half-time, the first time we've ever gone in half-time 5-0 up away from home. The second half was always going to be a little bit flatter, wasn't it? Saka had been replaced by Fabio Vieira. There's loads more substitutions in the second half. We added one more goal. It was a good goal as well. Ben White fired home after Kai Havertz pullback. Nice finish it was from the edge of the penalty area into the bottom corner. Make it 6-0. Yeah, we could have maybe had 1 or 2 other goals, but it doesn't matter, does it? 6-0 victory away from home. And yes, the opposition were poor. Of course they were. But anyway, you can only beat what's in front of you. We got the job done. It's 6-0. Rather muted Arsenal celebrations, and I think rightly so. You know, we've maybe been accused of going over the top on some of our celebrations in recent games, and I think tonight, you know, we got the job done, didn't we, against very, very poor opposition. And yeah, we played pretty well. We played some great football and some good performances, and some minutes for some of our players come back from injury as well. So a pretty successful night. The only downside is an injury to Gabriel Martinelli. We're not quite sure what it is, are we? Could be metatarsal, which was a worry, but let's hope it isn't. And let's hope Gabriel Martinelli is back very, very soon. Jesus looks a bit frustrated he didn't score. But anyway, Terry says, hit that like button. Richard was only joking about 29 play. Well, I wasn't. I thought he did play well. Ty says, first time watching this stream, top man, Arsenal squad. Thank you very much, my friend. Good to have you on board with us. Look forward to seeing you. Thanks for your comments as well. Some great comments from you tonight and everybody else as well. Yeah, it's been a good night, hasn't it? It's been a very, very good night for Arsenal. We've got that record, haven't we? Winning by at least 5 goals in 3 consecutive away games. First time that's ever happened in the Premier League. We've got a plus 45 goal difference with 2 points off Man City. 2 points off Liverpool at the top, 1 point off Man City in second. And importantly, we've now 11 points above Tottenham in 5th place. So that top 4, if nothing else, looks secure, doesn't it? But we've got faults ahead of us rather than below us. Sheffield United are still bottom. They've got a minus 50 goal difference. They're on 13, but somehow they've got 13 points. I don't know how they've got 13 points, but they have. And they're probably not going to get too many more, are they? But anyway, they've got Burnley have got 13 points as well, actually, and they're just above the bottom on goal difference because they've conceded a lot less goals. But yeah, quite how Sheffield United have got. Imagine if you played Sheffield United and you've given them points this season. How bad must you feel? Because they are awful. But anyway, we got the job done, didn't we? And we did it with some good stuff. Redemptor says, Richie's commentary is brilliant. I think my friend, he says, but his comments can be annoying. Oh, thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. Greg says, only 1-0 second half. A win is a win. On to the next one. Yeah, but you get games like that. When you're 3-4-5 up at half time, you never really expect to see a similar second half, do you? Our intensity was always going to drop. Sheffield United are always going to come out and determined not to be so open again. And it wasn't, to be fair. They didn't really create too much, did they? But at least they were a lot more solid in the second half. But yeah, I think that was all just about Arsenal's intensity just dropping off slightly, wasn't it? And it only takes a 5% decrease in your intensity and it makes a massive difference. Even though 1% makes a big difference. But it doesn't matter, does it? We got the 1-0 in the second half and 6-0 overall. And we'll take that, won't we? Perfect night, really. What what more could you want from a night watching Arsenal? Not really too much more than that, could we? But anyway, that was that then. Really, really good stuff. So thank you very much to all you guys for watching. There's been quite a few in the stream again tonight, which is always good. I do appreciate all your support, everyone watching and joining in with your comments and everything else as well, which is, of course, what we like to see. So I say I'm back on Wednesday for the Arsenal women's game against Aston Villa, semi-final of the Continental Cup, another big game, a really important game as well. So join me for that one. I'll be here at 7 o'clock because it's a 7:15 kickoff. I think it's 7:15 kickoff, actually. Let me just double check. I know it's a weird kickoff time. Let's just have a look and see. Where are we? Oh, hang on, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, 7:15 kickoff. So I'll be at 7 o'clock for that one. Of course, Friday we are back with the Arsenal women's show. We'll be looking back on that North London derby win yesterday. We'll be looking back on the Aston Villa game, hopefully another victory. And of course, so we're looking ahead as well to the Chelsea game, which is the following Friday in the WSL, massive game that is there as well. So join us for that Friday. Of course, Saturday, 5:30, we are back for the Arsenal men against Brentford from the Emirates. That is going to be good, isn't it? Let's hope that we can follow this up with another big victory at home as well. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? So join us for that. Lots of great stuff coming up. And of course, next week, is next week Champions League or is that the week after? I'm getting confused with the time now. There's so many games going on. Yeah, of course, the Tuesday after is the Champions League. Yeah, the Porto game. So we'll obviously be here for that one as well. And then, of course, the international break, isn't it, for the men coming up after that. So yeah, great stuff. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. Really enjoyed your company. Regenda says, I saw the women yesterday 1-0, but when the goal was scored, people coming back blocking my view. It was straight after half time, wasn't it? He said, that's the problem, you see. And I said this on the show yesterday that, you know, the start of the second half, the ground was half empty. The seats were half empty because people, I don't understand why you would want to go to a game and spend half an hour either side of half time queuing for food and drink. If you can't wait 45 minutes or an hour to have something to eat or a drink till after the game, I don't know. Have something before you go in and then have something when the game's finished. Don't waste half your time queuing and then, like you said, coming back in and disrupting everybody. I don't like that really, but anyway, each their own, I suppose. But there you go. Greg says, thanks, Richard. On to Wednesday now for another great win. Let's hope so, my friend. Let's hope it is another good win. I'm not expecting it to be 6-0 on Wednesday, but we'll take anything. Regenda says there were many women there probably queuing for the toilets. Well, yeah, I know, but do women need to go to the toilet more often than men? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I need to go to the toilet quite a bit at my age. But anyway, I can generally last for a game usually. But anyway, I don't know what. I think one of the problems with the women's games actually is something we'll maybe talk about more on the women's show. It's like, because there's a lot of kids there, isn't there? Every women's match I've been to, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's the Lionesses, I've been to see Newcastle women. You get a lot of kids, and kids won't, like young kids, and they won't settle for 2 hours of a game. So quite often you see the parents are going backwards and forwards all the time to get them some food or to take them to the toilet, or that's one of the things that isn't ideal, is it? But it's part of it. You want them to go and enjoy the game, don't you? It's just that causes a lot of issues like that, doesn't it? I suppose. Terry says, hit that like button before you go. One last one out, turn the lights out. Night, everyone. Yeah, see you later, Terry. Good to see you again as always. So I'm back Wednesday, of course, for the women's game. But please join me for that. Thank you for your company tonight. It was quite enjoyable, wasn't it? 6-0 win. You don't get too many of them. We've had a few lately, but I'm sure they're not going to last. So let's enjoy it while we can. I will see you Wednesday. Arsenal right in that title race. Let's be honest, we are right in that title race. Let's see if we can go all the way this time. Some really big games coming up, as we've said. Greg says put them in nappies. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and bring like packed lunch and stuff with you. That's what I would do. In fact, I remember doing that once. Going back a few years when my kids were young, we went to Community Shield at Wembley, Arsenal against Man United. It was. And I had all the kids with me, and basically I took food with me for them, so we didn't have to keep getting up and going. So bags of crisps and chocolates and sandwiches and stuff like that. And in days you could bring stuff like into the ground. No one really cared. You didn't really get your bag searched, so we just brought them in, and just, every so often, oh, do you want something to eat? And it saves them to get up and leaving your seat and going down. So that's what we did. I know it's maybe slightly different now. Could you get away with bringing packed lunch in for your kids? I don't know. You should be able to. Why should you not be allowed to? I know it's slightly different now, but anyway. Regenda says, it was packed out. I enjoyed the game and saw it on the BBC as well. No, it was a great game. Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Good to get the victory, obviously, which we needed. And it was a good game, yeah. Regenda says, the women played better with our captain playing almost like Erdegaard. No, Kim Little makes a big difference. Of course she does. And what a fantastic player she is. And it was great to, obviously, to see her back in the team again, because she's obviously been out injured and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was a good game yesterday. We enjoyed that. Hopefully Wednesday will be even better, because it's a semi-final of the cup. We have to win. We need to be in that final again, defend our trophy. That'd be good, won't it? Terry says, build a chicken run for the kids like they had at Millwall. Not quite the same. Well, yeah, I don't know what you can do really, but just bring your own food. That's what I would do. That's what I used to do. So there you go. Anyway, that's a different subject for a different night, is it? Tonight's all about Arsenal. 6-0 winners away at Sheffield United. Some great goals in there as well. Some really good finishes. Yes, the opposition were weak and poor. There's no doubt about that. But some of our goals were great. And it's nice to win 6-0 away from home. It's only the second time we've ever done that in the Premier League. And the first one was, 3 weeks ago at West Ham. So there you go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If you did, please give us a like. If you are new, please subscribe. I will see you on Wednesday. Regenda says that they need to get one touch like the men's and also get hold of the corner specialist for them. Yeah, well, the corner specialist tonight didn't work, did it? All these fancy little routines we looked to have with players lined up behind the far post. Now, all our corners were rubbish tonight, every single one of them. So, it has its moments, doesn't it? We've been good from corners most of the season, but tonight was poor. The one aspect of our game that wasn't that good tonight, really, was our corners. You watch the Arsenal women will score like 3 goals from corners on Wednesday now. That's how it works, isn't it? And we also had 22 shots. 10 on target. Sheffield United had 4 shots, none on target. Incredible. 81% possession from Arsenal. They had 6 touches in the opposition box. We had 55. Dominant. But did we expect anything else? I certainly didn't. I said before the game, didn't I? We should be winning this game 5, 6, 7-0. And in the end, it was 6-0. Regenda says it was trying something different to make us unpredictable. Well, yeah. So by making us unpredictable, it was like, well, we used to be really good at corners and tonight we're really terrible. So that's something different, isn't it? And it's unpredictable because no one expected us to quite be that bad, maybe. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We won 6-0. We'll take it all day long. And we scored some great goals from open play, which is great, isn't it? And that's what we want, isn't it? Terry says, cheers, much appreciated coming you guys on Wednesday. Indeed, we need to follow this up. The win yesterday, the win tonight. It's going to be a good week. I'm sure I can feel it. So join us on Wednesday for that one. We've enjoyed it tonight. It finished 6-0 to Arsenal. We are 2 points off the top. We're in that title race. Can we do it this year? I know Neil thinks we can. What do you guys think? I'll see you Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Come on, you Gunners.